Alright. You're very efficient if you're watching this bit. Hello. We'll be starting in 30 minutes. Oh, but stay tuned now, of course, because there's going to be plenty of entertainment between now and then anyway to keep you on the channel enjoying yourself. If you see the follow button in the corner, remember to click it. You get some points. You can use them in the channel. There's a lot of other things you can read as well. There's going to be some cool stuff anyway, so just stay tuned. Hi, I'm Halloween here from HeroesLounge with Jabroni.
Say hello.
Hello.
And we've got Dreadnought here.
Hello.
So first of all, thanks very much for giving us some of your time here today. It's been very, very exciting watching the series and everything. So Dreadnought, I'm just going to shoot straight in, okay? The game's shown continuous development since the first World Championship when they released Cho'Gall at BlizzCon. That was before the inception of even the HCC. But since then, there's been like a near constant and exciting introduction of changes, maps, heroes, and reworks. Now, first of all, in your opinion, do you find this quite difficult to deal with? Because, you know, in the past I've spoken to pros who said, I don't even want to think about that hero until I'm forced to, you know. Now, personally, I love it, but obviously, you know, for some people that might be a bit of work just to learn all the interactions that are possible between maps and hero differences. What's your opinion?
So if you're going to be like to stay at the top, you know, level of performing both in a commentary and in a playing perspective, absolutely, it's extremely difficult. Every change is only going to change every dynamic, because like when you nerf Uther, that doesn't just nerf Uther. It's not like, oh, Uther's a little bit less value. That takes every synergy that Uther has ever worked with and now suddenly makes it less valuable. But then you got to consider, I mean, there's so many elements that I can't even like begin, but it's just to show you that like this is when one piece moves, the entire meta is going to shift with it, the dynamic is going to shift with it. And so anytime that's going to change, it's very difficult to be able to keep up with. I would say the pacing and some of the depth that, even though, you know, conveniently enough, though many would label heroes as kind of that kind of casual level, I would argue when you look at the fact that each hero has its own talents, right, and it's got multiple talents at every single tier, like that in itself, every character that comes out, you've just introduced 80 new variables. So then it's like, and that is, I mean, that's just one character. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's extremely difficult to be able to maintain that for long periods of time.
Oh no, excellent answer. To be fair, yes. So, as expected, very difficult. Now, earlier, we saw Fnatic lose their first series yesterday. Now, it looked like they were trying to play heroes like Tyrael to counter other teams, and it lost. But then later on, they played heroes that they were more comfortable with. We saw Breeze on Diablo, we saw, you know, Mene on Lei Ming, and it was truly terrifying. I think you coined that, you said it was just terrifying. Now, do you think there are too many teams out there just trying to play too hard to some sort of meta and it's being counterproductive?
This is a tough question, actually. So I think unlike majority of maybe my peers, I would say no. I personally feel that the meta is a meta for a reason, right? Generally speaking, Occam's razor philosophy is something that really works with competitive heroes and just general strategy, at least for a guideline, which is the amount of variables you rely on to exist within a game. The more that there are, the less likely it is to happen. So if you want to get the least amount of variables in all cases, and so it's going to be the most forgiving, and more likely to get the whatever profitable or expected outcome you have as a team. So with that in mind, like it puts it into a position to where if you're going to play only your comforts, you are limiting the amount of you're increasing the amount of variables, which decreases the probability of winning, or at least it's less forgiving than those. And so you have to make up for that with your individual skill. I would say the best players in the world and the best teams are the ones who can adapt the fastest and then encase and embody that most forgiving composition the most effectively. And I would only say that because I feel like now we have experienced enough competitive heroes to where the world champion is almost always running meta. They're never running comforts. There are variables where tier 3 comforts come in, yes, but again, it's still sticking with that kind of cookie cutter, if you will, composition. So that was why I would say I think it's better to stick with it, but it doesn't mean that there isn't value, especially as a developing team, to stick to what you know.
Well, there we have it.
Jump onto that. You know how everyone's kind of saying that Tyrael isn't like, you know, he's been picked up, but you know, they're like, he's not actually that good. Do you think the Maiev kind of picks and then Tyrael picks to counter Maiev with the sanctification is kind of working against teams? Tyrael's not that good, but they're picking him to counter Maiev and it's still not working.
So this goes with the idea on what you asked with the kind of when I was referring to Uther, right, and how that goes, is this is exactly that exact same topic. So when Maiev comes out, then because the synergies with Tyrael and the counter of Maiev versus Tyrael is there, then that increases Tyrael's viability drastically when it comes to draft priority. I personally, on Tyrael as a specific case, I think he is that good. I think he is notoriously been one of the best characters in the game for a long while. Sanctification, and
I saw you twitch when he said that as well, like audibly, like, oh.
When we look at the Eastern world and a lot of competitive heroes in the past and a lot of world championships, Hero is one of the most prominent heroes that gets played. He is one of two that almost always shows up, even if not played within any regional meta, that once you get to the international stage, he's suddenly viable again. He requires absurd amount of team synergy and coordination, and that based on the idea of forgiveness, right? Well, we were talking about before. That is probably one of those heroes that, in theory, when it's executed properly and you get the sanctification right, he's going to be extremely useful and extremely powerful. But he is really, really hard. I would say he has that comfort element that if you can get that comfort with him, he does provide so much for the team that he will outweigh everything. That being said, I think since his rework, I would also argue that I question whether or not all the talents that we see for a majority of this tournament has an impact on why he is struggling so much. In particular, looking at 13 and like the lack of holy ground for a majority of the teams here without having an offensive, initiation tank. But yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I do feel like Tyrael is that good, but it also is, I can see why teams would want to pull away from it. I mean, that was my criticism all of yesterday. For anybody, who didn't know, like I was talking about Tyrael a lot and I want to see less and less and less, but I felt like that was because the teams were not coordinated enough, not because I think Tyrael's not worth it.
And Trixler's Green Jesus coming in as well, yeah. You called him Shrek, that was brilliant. Right, so some people would never smash a mirror, some people would never walk underneath a ladder or let a black cat cross their path. Yeah. Do you think the Kalaris core is that dangerous a curse?
It seems like it's becoming, it is one, right? For how consistent it seems to happen, I feel like at this point you got to say yeah.
It's outrageous, isn't it? Yeah. Right, okay, so who's your main when you play?
Right now it's been Blaze, but that's just because the impact that he has in the game. Like, he's very, very safe. But I mean, knowing, I come from the world of supports, like right now I've been probably Lucio's still my favorite go-to. He's got a lot of playmaking capabilities and it's just really fun to ride walls, boop people left and right.
Boop.
Yeah, and so I would say probably right now is Blaze, but generally speaking, I don't stick to mains like most people. I don't have my favorites.
Caldor definitely does. He says Vala's his, for sure, for sure. Well, he did last time anyway. That may have changed. If I get a chance to speak to him later, I'll be sure to ask that.
Right, so yeah, we are from HeroesLounge. Do you have any advice you can give to amateur teams looking to improve? Even if it's down to the shot calling or, what would you say?
Step number one, without a doubt, trying to identify that you're a part of a team, and no matter how big of a superhero you want to be, that your loss and your victory is as 5. That's step number one. That's pro or amateur, don't care. We'll give you that advice. Number 2, watch your replays. Without a doubt, the fastest way to improve the game is going to be looking at your replays, and not just the ones you lost. Because why would you look at a replay where there's an obvious mistake? I can't help but feel like I cannot endorse that more. Because when you play a game and you got bodied and you got killed left and right, why would you want to watch that? You didn't stand a chance throughout the entire game. And yeah, you could look at that VOD, and I would suggest still to look at it. But out of all the VODs to look at, the one with the most apparent loss condition and most apparent reason why you made that mistake should be the one that's least valuable to look at.
Yeah.
Because it's so apparent in the first place. That being said, I think every replay is worth it. I'm just trying to highlight that I think that a lot of people look down on looking at, I won a game and I want to watch a replay. And because I think the best way to improve, especially shot calling, is learning how to win harder and understanding how to maximize what you gain out of these teams. I would argue that's the reason we see Dignitas as the favorite of this tournament, is because they know how to win harder. When they get the lead, they don't let go of it, and that doesn't happen by accident. It's because they know exactly how much they can get out of it, and that comes from watching your replays that you won.
Yeah, and they're disgusting with their XP. Do you not think that there's just no games where they're lower in the XP? It's crazy. They're very good to watch. So yeah, how do you feel that the sport has grown as a whole? Do you think we could ever be in the big Spodek sorcery thing?
I mean, I think there's a world where that very much could be the case, right? I don't look at it as tomorrow that's going to be the case for it, but I very much when it comes to, does Heroes have the foundation and core elements to be that kind of esport? I absolutely think that is the case. Yeah. And then beyond that, I think there's a lot of other variables that kind of go into whether or not it will be. But I think when it comes to potential, it's very much there.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm hoping so too, because it looks pretty nice in there. But yeah. So back to Heroes Lounge. What advice? Because every game is casted is kind of what the kind of whole shtick is. So would you have any advice for casters? Because I know that on Reddit they can get a lot of flack for maybe being too negative, or
Trust me when I say I can understand about Reddit giving you flack or giving you whatever kind of feedback they're giving. But the advice to those commentators, oh gosh, this is a tough one, because I feel like, first of all, I've never been asked how to help somebody get better at commentary, which is kind of a weird moment for me. To be considered that qualified as a commentator, I guess. So what I would say is, first of all, just do it, and do it a lot. A lot of people don't want to get on the mic and don't want to even listen to themselves as well. And it's like, how can you expect the world to listen to you if you can't listen to you? And taking the time to understand that every mistake that you make is very difficult, and it's on the fly, and it's going to reoccur over and over and over again. But as long as you constantly are looking at those things that you are doing, and it's much like, actually, my advice probably towards a player is just looking at what you do and constantly finding the small things you can do to get that improvement. And then once you feel like you've built a foundation, I would say explore, man. One of my favorite things I was able to do out of 2017 and working with Gilly was having somebody that I could test weird things on. And I think one of the coolest things we were successful with was negative space, not talking. I can't help but feel like some of the best commentary moments are the ones where you didn't say anything. That if you set up a moment to be so impactful that your words are not going to add to it, and that the gameplay is all that needs to be said, right? That it speaks for itself, I think is probably what I would say is ideal. Or not ideal, but a kind of really cool peak moment that you might be able to have. And so just be willing to test those things out, because you will essentially just say the same things over and over again, just sound slightly different. I feel like if you don't.
Yeah. Sounds good. And
I'm really conscious of our time.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm very conscious of our time. So let's just move forward to the quickfire round. Okay, so favorite hero?
Rhaegar.
Least favorite hero?
Tronda.
Mexican or Chinese cuisine?
Oh, Mexican all day.
Favorite band?
Ooh, I don't listen to bands, so if I was to suggest one, it would be a rap group. I'm a huge rap fan. It would be D12.
Okay. D12. Favorite caster?
Me? No, just kidding. I would say, I think, if I would, favorite or best? I think that's
favorite.
Ooh.
It's gotta be public.
It's probably the same. Sadakis, actually. I think he's one of the. Recently, I've become a huge fan of what his work is, and I'm hoping one day I can use it on my own.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Ooh, flan.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs, easy.
Favorite map?
Ooh, Dragonshire.
And there we go. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
yeah, cheers, buddy.
Thanks, man.
It's gonna be my food, baby.
So then, look very lightly. Beep boop beep beep boop beep beep boop 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 beep beep boop boop. I'm making the crust now. It might look like a Cornish pasty to some viewers at home, living near Cornwall, but it's not. Look, there's the dough. Now, stretch it out a bit more. Stretch it out a bit more. I'm just making the basic shape right now. Making the basic shape. Right? Making the basic shape. And now I'm going to just pick it up and I'm going to let gravity do its thing. Gravity, do your thing, gravity. Just passing it between my hands. One. See? See, it's easy. You can do this at home, folks.
Can I get your arms in this shot for your biceps?
Who's asking this?
No, me.
Oh. If you would like.
Can I
My
get
hair's a
you
bit
it?
of a mess.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is the Naked Chef. Now get back to the pizza. Hello, we're here with Caldor. It's me, Jabroni, and Halloween.
That's me. Yep.
We asked some Heroes Lounge players to kind of throw out some questions for us. So yeah, we're going to jump in with a couple quick questions. Basically, it's your casting is insane when it comes to play-by-play. The kind of high energy team fights, you're calling everything with high energy, and it gets everybody hyped. Do you have like an off-screen warm-up method before you go out?
No, I don't. I'm not yelling at the mirror or anything. It's actually funny because I talked to someone earlier about Warcraft 3, and that's where a lot of that comes from, because when we started, the bandwidth on the internet wasn't there for video streams, so we could only do audio streams, and back then you had to provide a picture for the audience, so you had to describe everything that was happening. And so a lot of the old school casters from back then are pretty good at the play-by-play, because they're just used to trying to convey everything to the audience. And if you then transition from RTS over to a mobile game where you have to watch 10 Heroes that gives you a bit of an edge, I would say. So I think it comes a bit natural, but the warm-up is usually just the start of the game. So no, I'm not yelling at the TV or anybody. I'm not getting my neighbors worried.
Amazing. So Pad Palon asked, what would be the next big feature Heroes needs to evolve as an esport?
Well, straight up two. First of all, I'm still harping on the performance-based matchmaking system. I know that a lot of people were a little bit skeptical about it, but unfortunately coincided with that matchmaking bug that they had with the placements. So I think that's a big deal of it, because this is very different when you compare it to, let's say, Dota and League of Legends, where as an individual player you have more carry potential, because Heroes is way more focused on the team fight aspect. So in that sense, I feel individual performance needs to be rewarded, and that would also take a lot of the anxiety away from people. There's a few things I would like to change with the first initiative that they had, but overall I think it's a very important feature. Hero swaps is something that we desperately need, just so that you have more draft flexibility and so that teams can work in that sense. I think voice chat already added a lot, but those two would be my priority, and then afterwards I would go for changing the Grandmaster ladder, because right now you still get, at the end of each season, you get the reward for your highest position that you held during the season, and I think that's a pretty bad way to go about it, because once a player reaches number 1, especially if you grind at the start, there's very little incentive to actually commit to Hero League even more. And if you make it so that you only get the rank that you have at the end of the season, you give out a few better prizes for the good Grandmaster players, and you just in general give more incentives for good players to continuously throughout the season commit to Hero League, you will get better matches also at the top end, because traditionally that is where the matchmaking struggles the most, just simply because if you imagine a pyramid, it's where you have the fewest players that are on that level. So those are probably the top 3 that would change.
Nice one.
Yeah. Just to expand on that, we've seen huge improvements because of the voice chat. Like statistically, the toxicity levels have been reduced a little, and are you seeing at that level a difference as well?
I've been saying this for years, that I think a lot of the toxicity comes because people are frustrated. If you're sitting in a game, and I mean, my prime example has been for more than a year now, if you're on Infernal Shrines and your opponent takes the Punisher and you say, okay, bait it over, and you have that one monkey that walks in front of the wall and just like ruins the entire play. You sit there and you don't have time to always just write an entire essay to explain to the person, listen, you just need to stay behind the gate, you provide vision, you bait it over, and then you have the extra tower shots and everything that helps you to defend against that. So people just get super frustrated, and if that happens over and over again, it results in them getting toxic. And I mean, that's not nice.
And then tilting, and then sitting AFK in the core.
You start tilting after a while, and I mean, of course, that's not the behavior you're looking for, but it's a big part of what triggers it. Now that we have voice chat, you have still idiots that go in and insult people. I mean, you're never going to get rid of those. But you have now an easier tool to communicate with people, talk to them, and actually tell them, listen, this is what we need to do, and this is why. And once you explain to them why, and you can do that quickly, they understand, because you're not simply annoying them by trying to tell them what to do, you're also providing an explanation why it makes sense. So communication just makes for much more relaxed games. And ever since they introduced voice chat, I mean, I had a couple where we had people in voice chat that also got tilted and they got toxic, but the majority of the games that I had were, even in losses, still where people said, okay, didn't happen, but you coordinate way better, you tell people when you're doing, just like the community or players teaching players how to play better, how to get better.
I mean, sure, you're putting a person behind the keyboard. That's what Trixler was saying to us yesterday. He was saying, you're making it more personal. It's not, and it's I think it's definitely improved win rates. It's been a huge improvement. I'm all for it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject too much there. I just thought we needed to expand on voice chat a little because it's great.
Decent. Right. So yeah. The next one is about the development now. They came out and said that they're thinking they're pushing back hero release dates in favour of reworks, and I think reworks of the maps. Do you think that that's a right step rather than just churning out heroes on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Yeah, I was not a fan of the rhythm that they had so far. I think it's awesome if you provide new content, and you should always do it. But personally, I'm absolutely happy if they slow down the patch progression as well as hero releases, just simply because it got too much at some point, and especially from a caster's perspective with the frequent patches that we have, there's such a difference sometimes between the tournament patch, the PTR patch, and then you have the live patch, where you're really starting to lose track of what am I playing right now. I mean, sometimes I'm not even touching the game for a week because I'm juggling 3 patches already, and if I then go into HGC and all of a sudden talk about a healer not choosing cleanse, and I immediately get Twitch chat going crazy, doesn't have cleanse anymore, I'm like, oh, we're on that patch, like, yeah. So I personally think for the game it's also good. It provides a bit more stability, and there is of course a fine line, don't get me wrong. I mean, you need to find a good rhythm between providing new content on a regular basis, but at the same time not just flooding it out. So if they find that, then I'm all for it, and slowing it down a bit is, in my opinion, a step into the right direction.
Yeah, sounds good. So we are here at the Clash. What team's exit from the Clash or progress has surprised you the most?
I mean, let's just face it, Method just played abysmal. Like, I have no idea what happened there. I was expecting them, as they themselves said, to be in the top 3 or to at least contest it, and they just lost to 2 North American teams. Were also the first one to lose to NA in 2 years, which all the EU teams were trying to avoid. And they were not happy with their performance either. So that surprised me heavily. I didn't expect them to struggle this much. But they came in and already said that in scrims they didn't get quite the results that they got throughout the season, and that adjusting to the priorities that changed with MyF being introduced, they were not sure how exactly to draft. And unfortunately for them, they didn't have the showing here, because as a team, you want to go to the offline event and you want to grow as a unit, you want to get some synergy with your teammates, you want to grow as a group, and now they have the exact opposite happening. They're coming here, they're getting slammed into the ground, and now you just have to ask yourself, can they recover for the next part of the season? And that's going to be rough. And on the upside, we have North America now finally showing some skill, so that's also pretty awesome because we get that rivalry going, and which is for us casters brilliant because we can banter on the desk without people getting salty. If I sit there with Gillian, we make NA and EU jokes, and at the same time NA just get crushed on every single map, and there's a lot of people out there that just don't like that for very good reason. Now it's all of a sudden just really people going blow to blow, and that allows you for a lot more banter, and it makes more fun on the analysis desk. You have more exciting games. Tempo Storm is having a great run right now, and I really like that. So North America now stepping it up is pretty awesome, especially since throughout 2017 I already expected them to become better, and they were very confident, and then they come into the event and they again lose without taking a single series, and that was really disappointing. So it's awesome to see that in 18 they're stepping up this heavily.
So we know you're quite close with Fnatic. How do you feel that they're performing with Sonic the sub?
It's interesting timing for the question because I thought they did really well. I feel against Tempo Storm they had a few problems. They banned out MyF really late. One of the reasons was, as they said later, that they were trying to see, they were not impressed by the MyF plays they've seen by the North American teams up to that point, and they let MyF through deliberately because they said, hey, if that's the level that we can expect there on the hero, we can deal with it. But Tempo Storm was stronger with her than they expected, so they struggled against it and then lost. But even with that loss, I thought, okay, with Sonic, give them a little bit more practice, give them just another day. Sonic can rest and can get used to everything. Benny gets a bit more routine in the shot calling, and I expected them to come out swinging today against Zealots, have maybe a close series. But right now, as we do this, they are
we're unmuted.
That draft on BOE was not really targeting the map, so I feel that was a big part of the problem. I think with Sonic, they're doing extremely well given the circumstances. But I really thought we would see them in a rematch against Tempo Storm, and now they still have the chance, but they need to reverse sweep. So I think there's a chance, but still, overall, you can't be too upset with them because
I was speaking about this earlier. I said it would be amazing if they made it to the finals because Quacknix will feel like he hasn't let them down. But then I said they're faced with a very difficult moral situation where if they win, he might feel really bad.
I mean, that might be part of the case, but at the same time, I feel with Quack they would have a lot more of the synergy that we're sometimes missing. Sonic has fit in really well, and especially around the previous games that they played on the first day, he'd done an insane job, but you can still see that sometimes he's not on the same page. And he also doesn't have that comparative understanding yet. Apparently he doesn't even watch a lot of HTC, so he doesn't watch comparative, and in a lot of the situations he has that Hero League mentality where he apparently, after a big team fight, went on and told Smexy, alright, I'm heading mid, I'm gonna go to the well, and Smexy just starts laughing and tells him, no dude, we're finishing now, like we're ending, so just come with us. So he still has a lot to learn there, but you can see that that guy has, of course, insane potential. So even if here they don't go as far as they maybe hoped with him, I feel like in the future, if a team picks Sonic up, they're going to have really someone that they can build on.
LAN experience as well.
Yeah.
So do you know how that came about? How, was Sonic always kind of thought of as a sub, or was it kind of just, oh god, Quack's sick, we need to...
No, so Quack got sick in London, and for 2.5 days when he was also like, I think he was in the emergency room at some point even, and they played during those 2 days where he couldn't play at all. They played with Maka, to my knowledge, and with Sonic. So those are the two subs that they use. They can't play with Maka here because he's part of an HGC team. So once that it became clear that despite all hopes, Quack can't play, they just reached out to Sonic and flew him in on Friday, actually. So he arrived in, I think at the airport. His flight landed at 11:30. He arrived at the venue at 1 o'clock. They had to do media with him, and the game started, I think, at 4. So they got one single game in with him, and then they immediately had to play.
Wow.
Amazing. So yeah, my final question would be, who do you think's going to be in the final? Who's going to win? Sorry.
I mean, Europe is obviously going to win it. I mean, we need that extra spot. I like that NA is doing better, but the spot is still ours, sorry. So Dignitas has the best chances, I feel. I wouldn't mind Tempo Storm going up against Dignitas again, but right now, any of the 3 teams that we have remaining would be a fantastic story. With the Zealots, you have the 2 Polish players that are playing, so that would be fantastic for the crowd. If we get a rematch between Tempo Storm and Dignitas, NA versus EU, I'm not going to complain about that. And if Fnatic makes it all the way with a sub, now also that would mean they need to reverse sweep Zealots, but I mean, could happen. That would be a fantastic story as well, that we have the rivalry going again. So either match is fine. With Fnatic being down 2 games, I think it's likely that Tempo Storm has a very good shot of making it all the way again.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to pass you over to Halloween for some quick fire questions.
Okay, we've got the quick fire round. So, before I go into this, are you still a Vala main? You said last year Vala all the way. Is that still the case for you?
I mean, you can't be a Vala main in Hero League right now because you just get wrecked all the time. But if she was viable, I would still main her, yes. So Vala is still my bae. But right now, if you draft, you have to be adjusting to the meta, and nah.
All right, okay. Okay, so quick fire round. All right, favorite hero?
Vala.
Least favorite hero?
I would... rough battle between Genji and Tracer.
Okay, Mexican or Chinese cuisine?
Chinese.
Favorite ban?
Ban?
Yes.
Maiev.
Okay, now because Dreadnought misheard me when I asked that earlier, favorite band?
Really rough run. I'm not that much into music right now on this event. Guano Apes.
Favorite caster?
Huh. Which game?
This one.
Favorite caster for Heroes?
Yeah.
To cast with or to listen?
Just your favorite caster?
You have to specify casting with or listen to.
Both.
I kind of walked into that one, didn't I? Yeah. So favorite caster to cast with, this year definitely Tim Trixler, because it has been a lot of fun. And listen to, I'm actually a little bit torn on that one, to be absolutely honest. I would say, depending on the game, but most of the time it would be either Dreadnought or if it's a hype game, if it's a really, really hype game that is fast, and Jeho.
Okay, so favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Cats or dogs?
Kind of both, but dogs.
Favorite map?
Cursolo.
And there we go. Thank you very much for your time today, Calder.
It's gonna be my food baby.
So then, look very lightly. Beep boop beep, beep boop beep, beep boop 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 beep beep boop boop. I'm making the crust now. It might look like a Cornish pasty to some viewers at home, living near Cornwall, but it's not. Look, there's the dough. Now, stretch it out a bit more. Stretch it out a bit more. I'm just making the basic shape right now. Making a basic shape. Right? Making a basic shape. And now I'm going to just pick it up and I'm going to let gravity do its thing. Gravity, do your thing, gravity. Just passing it between my hands. One. See? See, it's easy. You can do this at home, folks.
Can I get your arms in this shot, your biceps?
Who's asking this?
No, me.
Oh. If you would like.
Can
My
I get
hair's a
you
bit
it?
of a mess.
Oh.
Hey
Oh.
guys, this is the Naked Chef. Now get back to the pizza.
There we go. What's up, everybody? My name is Halloween. To my left, we have
Jabronis feed of the week is pizza.
Feed of the week is pizza. That is right. Okay, as always, we always put a request out asking for an audio level or an audio check as per, and let's transition. There we go. Okay, so if everything
quite
sounds
nice.
okay and everything, just let us know. So what we've got for you today, where's the camera? What we've got for you today is a best of 3 series between teams.
Plasmatic eSports, or PMT for short.
Yes, apologies.
Against?
We're against Grief Gaming. Now, Grief Gaming, I've got to point out to the viewers, this is the second series this evening they've played in. They've just came off the back of playing against Raging Express, where they won 2-0.
Whoa!
What? So they were doing very well. And they're now, with a short break, are now moving into this as well. So if you could just fill some negative space for a sec.
Yes, this is the second time I think we've casted Plasmatic eSports because I remember the names Chizuma and especially the Flavor Saver, Mr. Flavor. So yeah, I don't know very much about the other team. Don't look at me. I hate when people do that. When people touch type and they stare at you, go, look, I can touch type it.
I'm typing whilst looking at you.
It's like eating a banana and looking at somebody else in the plate.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So let's just check what's happening. So I hope our viewers enjoyed some of our videos there whilst we were waiting for the game to start. One of the videos that we featured there was Jabroni's artisan pizza tutorials.
It was,
and
yes.
I was hoping we'd get some feedback on that if they want more. I'm not going to say comedy videos, but more.
It's not comedy. It's teaching people how to make great pizza at home. How often does that happen that you go to the fridge and you have a shitey margherita pizza? Well, me as
all
a
the
professional,
time.
yeah, that's what I mean. Me as a professional chef by day. Okay, I'm not a professional chef, but I watch a lot of tutorial videos on pizza.
Okay.
So I spent an entire weeks worth of training, and I put it to good use, which mistography wasn't overly enjoyed about because it was every
Pizzas.
night of the week. It was at least
Pizzas
2
every
pizzas.
night. Oh my gosh.
And she unfortunately for her as well, they're all margherita because that to me is what a true pizza should be. Of course, I'll introduce some pepperoni because she might like a bit of sausage, eh?
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me just firm this up because we are almost ready now. So the coin flip has been done. We are going into Braxis Holdout. Braxis Holdout, StarCraft map. We've not seen it for a wee while, so that's where we're going. And it would appear that Plasmatic are going to have first pick. So, right.
This is smelly. I love this map. 2-lane map, as everybody who's watching at home will know because they probably play the game if they're tuning into Halloween Heroes.
Okay.
It's a 2-lane map. Things happen on that map. You channel the objective. Once you get 100% Zerg wave, it pushes for you. The enemy, though, can get a percentage of said
Here
wave.
we go.
And it'll push back. So you want wave clear, wave clear, wave clear.
Yeah, it's all about the wave clear on this map for
And
sure.
shrine control.
And what? Crowd control.
Shrine control.
Beacon control
Beacon
specifically.
control. Wave clear.
Whomst will winneth thy next game is the question that you will see on screen at the moment. If you think that Plasmatic eSports are going to win this first game in the series, you want to type !bet space A space the amount of points that you'd like
Just
to
quickly,
bet.
I'm going to zone out for the next 30 seconds because I've heard this about a million times. Wake me up later.
Okay, it's grief spelt with an I and an E. You've done it the wrong way, but anyway, so it's !bet space B space the amount of points you'd like to spend if you think Grief Gaming are going to win. If you don't have any points for this channel, you gain them by watching, but if you click the follow button, which is in the corner up there, you will get access immediately to place a bet. thought I'd just do a quick camera change there. To,
What's chat saying? Okay, so
okay,
the
what's
first
chat?
ban has been hovering. That's Maiev. We see Maiev obviously being quite hotly contested because she can do things with her tether. She can set up teams to get kills, or she can throw out her Phantom Knives with reset upon reset and deal an ungodly amount of damage. Her ultimate, Warden's Cage, can lock a lot of people down, which you don't want if you are playing against her. And she also has an E which goes through walls, so she could actually be between the shrines pretty quickly if she wants. I think somebody once said it was about 8 seconds. People like Genji and that can cut off between the shrines by just going through the walls, you know, because you have to mount up and you have to walk past it.
You gotta walk past.
Genji, on the other hand, is banned. So these both good bans, but also could be target bans because both teams
Monster Tia.
are very well versed in playing juicy picks.
Yeah, juicy picks indeed is what we're likely to see. So Genji banned, Maiev banned, and that is possibly because Phoenix is still banned during rounds 2 to 5 in HeroesLounge in this league. This is round 5 for these two teams, so they will both have to wait until their next series before Phoenix can start getting picked up. But do you think we're likely to see him as a top contender next week with these teams?
Probably.
Probably.
I know people are.
Some bets going down on Plasmatic there, so
it's quite difficult to say because in Hero League he's meant to have a crazy good win rate. In HCC, he doesn't have that great a win rate, but you can't always base your things on HCC because these are professional players playing peoples. Right, because I'm pretty sure Gazlo has 100% win rate in HCC or something right now, so that is why you can't base it. He only has one game, I think. Hanzo, first pick. Hanzo's got good clear, got vision,
yeah,
and he's got a stun to set up a lot of wombo combos. Then you go over to the side of Grief Gaming, and they are going to want to grief by throwing the enemy with Garrosh into a silenced area, a silenced pool that Stukov put down. Stukov has a area of effect silence. I don't want to fight in the shrine area because there's a big silence, that kind of thing.
Do you know, up at this level where we are playing with Division 1 players, where you're frequently playing with Masters, Grandmasters, you know, people going into the HCC Open Division for positions as professional players, you do see a lot of Garrosh play. And I think you see that Garrosh play because the nuances that can be done in the team fight at split second with Garrosh is very, very good. Whereas you could play an easier tank but not get the same sort of value. But if you play Garrosh and you are able to use the nuances, as we've seen in this season already, you can literally throw your assassins towards the enemy that are trying to run away.
You have seen that already.
It's outrageous. There's ETC and Malfurion getting picked up by Plasmatic.
Big boy Roots coming out from the Malfurion with a Treant who can do some damage. And the ETC in the skin that we always see for ECT, it is the Cowboy Country and Vestione.
Do you know what? You brought this up. Last week or something, and I didn't fully appreciate it until just now. But for some reason, there seems to have been some secret agreement between all the teams in HeroesLounge that they all use that skin for ETC. I didn't expect it, but you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
So strangely enough, that's happened again. ETC, a good tank, solid CC, solid peel. If he gets thrown by Garrosh, he can power slide out if he's saving it. He can go global with level 10. I mean, and guess what? A lot of people main ETC, so it's good to have in your team because if you feel comfortable on him.
But see the ban. What we're going to see? Ragnaros, Chromie.
Chromestone, the Chromie Domey Chrome.
I was just trying to think of the first hero I could say within a second and went for it. Chrome Dome's very good because she can throw a big bag of sand on your head whilst you're sitting on the beacon. Let me just mute that. There we go.
She also has good vision around the map, depending on the build she goes. I'm pretty sure, unless that was changed. I don't play a lot of Chromie, I can't remember. I think it's level and talent. But yeah, she can reveal if you're trying to sneak a boss, trying to sneak a bush gank, trying to do a thing. So she can clear waves, she can put out damage, she knows where you're going to be, and she has reveal. So get rid of her because you don't want to play against her.
Many older hots is saying at Death Knight 2702, what those guys want to draft? Hey, I'm better, so just be quiet. Oh well, okay, there we go. Let's see.
I like it.
I like a bit of taunting trash talk.
Well, if you like a bit of taunting, we do have a garage.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so Thrall was banned,
Yeah.
and then the immediate snap pick of Gul'dan and Junkrat. Gul'dan, as we've spoken about countless times, wave clear upon wave clear, and then Junkrat, he's a pokey butthole. He pokes your butthole, he does his thing. The thing that
Is
was
that
interesting,
what he does? Is that what he does?
the thing that's interesting.
I'm not sure if that's what
Well,
he
no,
does.
he's got stacking poke. He can blow you off the
Oh.
shrine. You know, if you walk up to it, he can ping you off it with his W. He can root you with his E. But yeah, that was interesting because there was a Thrall ban. The solo lane. That's the first solo laner that we've seen banned. You know what I mean? Because nobody has a solo lane. Nobody has a solo lane. Solo laner, so they banned the Thrall, and immediately they're like, no, we're going to play Junkrat to poke out anybody that you...
It's a very slow draft, by the way. I've noticed how slow this is. It seems to have gotten slower over the recent days and weeks, but...
If you think about what you're going to draft, it takes a while.
Well, it does, but I think that's probably in there. There's the Ragnaros. I was expecting to see this. So the lava wave, which... you know, the discussion over if the meta's shifted, is it now Sulfura Smash or is it meant to be Lava Wave still? I don't know, but either way, we're still seeing Ragnaros getting used to great effect on this map. I don't know which way they're going to go, but if they do take Lava Wave, they will certainly have greater wave clear than Gul'dan.
Just as a little aside, you do have a lot of setup for Ragnaros' Sulfura Smash if you were to go that. I do get
because of the roots. Because of the roots.
Well, no, you've got the roots, you've got the Hanzo stun, you've got the ETC power slide, you've got a lot of different things. The Falstad is interesting because
if they get their CC chain right.
These are Div 1 players.
They'll get their CC chain.
Yeah. You're not going to see some rando stuff coming out here, I don't think. But yeah, so it also opens up for Ragnaros if he's winning a lane. So it wasn't a solo lane.
Right, hang on. I'm going to do Timmer's impression here. My blades are yours. Did I do it right?
No, you've got to go. It's got to be deeper. Go deeper with it.
Okay, my blades.
No, but in the weird, horrible.
Okay. My blades are yours.
That's kind of like it, but not really. Oh, so Meneildor is the Sonya, the grief-giving Sonya.
That's
in the chat right now.
Right now, the grief-giving Sonya is indeed.
So who do you think has it, just from the draft alone?
Well, I'm not sure. We don't actually... Is the competition over? You've still got 3 minutes on the competition if you'd like to bet on one of the teams. If you think Plasmatic's going to win, it's exclamation bet space A space the amount of points. If you think Grief's got it, it's exclamation bet space B space the amount of points.
Neck this and then get... I'm absolutely...
If you want to tweet in, it's at Northern Wizard, or if you want to go to the HeroesLounge thing anyway, it's #HeroesLounge, and that'll get you in.
Or for me, it's Jabroni, aka at guy who eats pussy from the back.
You can't listen. This is a PG-13 stream now. Come on, it's a family show. Right. Okay. We'll just go to that one. Okay. So we're about to go in game. This is the first of a best of 3 series between 2 Division 1 teams. I'm forgetting where the cameras are. Between 2 Division 1. No. Okay. Oh, should we go to the biceps of truth for a prediction?
We can't.
Oh, we can't.
Give me that biro.
Okay, here we go. So, I have made a mistake there. There we go.
Oh, Mr. Macro throwing out the macro.
Okay, so playing on the side of Grief Gaming, we have Menelodor on the Sonya. We have the Enabler on the Junkrat. We have Solid Butter playing Gul'dan. Capucci on the spinning Stukov there, and we have Hydra on the Garrosh. Jabroni!
Taunting as well. Doomshroom playing the Ragnaros. Hawk playing the Hanzo. Venko on the ECT. Chizuma on the Malfurion with a juicy synergy. And Flavor on the Falstad with even more mount synergy.
Now, Chizuma, we've seen play excellent support in the past. We've definitely seen that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Okay, let's have a look at those level 1 talents. Anything out of the ordinary striking at you?
Not out of the ordinary,
Jabroni?
but just a comment that Garrosh has gone that Q quest. And Hanzo, W. Not Q, not auto attack, but W for the Johnny clear.
Seen a few frames drop in here, but folks. I don't think, in fact, that's us. I think that it might just be the Blizzard servers.
I think it's the observer because it keeps happening, but the voice doesn't seem to be affected. But
Yeah.
the throw comes out in TC, and like we said, power slide was saved, but they slow again
Oh
from
my
Sukov.
gosh!
Ah!
Venko got away with 50 hit points there.
That-
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, so it was, if I was Irish.
So just as a side, we do see that the Ragnaros against Sonya as thought. This is good because if you, as Ragnaros, get Sonya low or get her baited quite far up the lane, you can call from a flight from your boy Falstad and get the old kill on the boy.
Is that how we think it's going to go?
So it's Capusi.
Pussy.
Well,
That's what
okay,
we're
the
seeing.
siege from Grief Gaming is giving them grief because they've already taken one of the towers and nearly the front wall.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive stance coming out of Grief Gaming. Remember, they're on a high at the moment. They just won a series. Excellent throw on Venko, but he manages to power
But he
slide
gets
out.
binged away by the friggin' Junkrat. And-
Yeah, the
oh my
friggin' mine
God.
from Junkrat.
The double root comes out to stop him from dying. That's always what you want.
Do you know, this is so aggressive.
Heiza is just walking up, and then he throws ETC again, and ETC he doesn't know where he wants to be. He power slides
Heiza's
up.
going right down. Is he going to die? First blood.
That armor doesn't help him when he gets rooted into place. Flavor actually barrel rolls onto the point really aggressively. Benko is getting Suki'd by Gul'dan to death. Now Flavor is falling so low. He's trying to trade, but it doesn't happen.
Oh, and we've got a pause. We've got a pause there, ladies and gentlemen. Which is, you know, they're saying they've got lags. We definitely are experiencing that ourselves as well. So that's fair enough.
Heiza.
We will give them a few minutes to.
Thank you very much, by the way. Freeze this for the things. So it's Kupsiji. Kaputsi?
Kapusji, like that, and Heiza.
Heiza.
Oh, this is excellent that
So
we're
that's
getting.
the Garrosh.
Freeze this from the audience is typing into Twitch chat for us there how to pronounce these players' names so that we can get it right for you. That's excellent. So Heiza, no problem, and Kapuji. Kapuji is what I'm going to go with. That's the closest.
Kupsji.
Anyway, just taking another look there. Menildor's managing to sustain better than Doomshroom in the lane at the moment in top lane. I mean, that's something that, you know, I think everyone came to expect, which is fine. But the kills, the trades that are happening down here, it's anybody's game, really, at this stage. Hawk is doing a great amount of damage at range with his Hanzo Q Stormbow, which is fine. However, it's not enough to ensure that his team stays alive, because you would think with the DPS that he's putting out... Oh, hang on, our teams are ready, so let's...
3, 2, 1, and he looks for the page break button. He can't find it.
There we go. Oh, we're
So
in.
as we are back, we see that Garrosh has just spawned, while Falstad and ECT are dead. The beacons have been channeled and up to 82% and counting. This is going to be 100% Zerg wave because Ragnaros can't get on, and Hanzo on Hawk doesn't want to. No, Hawk on Hanzo doesn't want to step up into him.
So, Flava Flav has came in bottom lane there to try and push them back, but the rest of his team rotates into top lane to try and deal with horrific Zerg invasion.
So Grief Gaming haven't changed their matchup at all on the bottom lane because they saw how much siege that they were getting done. They're actually chasing down Flav. He gets the stun. There's the throw come out. He comes unstoppable, so he doesn't get slowed. He gets the stun, the throw, and dies.
That is unbelievable. And just for kicks, Venko gets blown away as well.
So
in top lane, how's the defense going there, Jabroni?
I mean, it's going as expected. The wall's down, the towers are down, and they're getting a clear on it. They shouldn't lose a fort, but look, they will definitely lose a fort bot lane because, I mean, they had this crazy amount of siege prior to the beacon being 100%, so they're just keeping up with it because there's not that many people here. Venko's there, just as a body soaker. Falstad will come back in. But did you see what Heiza did?
What did Heiza do?
He popped the Unstoppable to stop any slow coming out from the tower shots, from anything, so he knew he could walk up to the Falstad, get the stun, get the throw. Juicy.
So, they're rapidly approaching level 7 Grief Gaming because of their advantage now. It's like consume soul from Gul'dan. You know, that's not what I expected. He's trying to keep his
Maybe
health
he
high.
should take some notes.
Yeah, well, hunger for power is pretty
Oh,
much...
Doomshroom was not expecting the 5-man gang, and neither was Flavor, who flew and beat barrel rolls immediately.
Oh,
Gets
no!
binged.
Disaster! And it's all unravelling in front of Plasmatic at this stage.
The throw on the dead Valstad was crazy, the actual body.
It was just a corpse of a griffin or a hippogriff flying through the air there.
And now they're just going to siege up top. This is what Sonia would like, because I mean, it means she doesn't have to push too far up the lane. Oh, but she's actually just going to opt to stealing, taking her camp to allow for extra push.
So we're seeing a W build Hanzo here. He's only he's halfway through his quest, which is okay, but he needs to be a bit further on to give himself more damage, I would say, at this stage.
Yes.
But this is so they've swapped now. Ragnaros going to hold bottom lane, and the 4v4 in top lane. But the difference is, whilst Ragnaros is able to hold the lane, Sonia is exceptionally good at taking camps. So she's managed to grab the siege camp there, and Ragnaros has abandoned the bottom lane. He's coming up. Doomstream coming round for the gank. Venko goes into position. They get the roots out. Solid Butter going very low. Doomstream gets the kill. Heizo trying to get out. Is he going to get out? Heizo's getting out. Oh!
That armor's just doing stuff. But
wow!
The hammer from Falstad confirms the kill.
This is what they needed. They needed that kind of comeback to get them in the game. But look at Enabler's poke on Flavor there. He is not happy with that. Venko getting torn towards the towers, but he manages to power slide out.
The bonus from this as well on the side of Plasmatic eSports is that because Sonia is busy pulling the camps, nobody is soaking bot lane. So Doomstream didn't miss any soak. But
he didn't miss
because
any, no?
everybody missed soak, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
So of course, but now the camp is just going to be picked up, so that will match the XP that was missed. So that is a good little play. Instead of soaking the lane, he went up, confirmed 2 kills, I think it was.
Grief Gaming look like they're coming in for an invade here. I don't know, are they going to do it? Oh, they got the root on. Are they? Oh, it's tempting.
Solid Butter gets thrown out into the fray, coming out as you wanted.
This is very close to level 10 here for Grief Gaming, and they have proven to be tremendously aggressive. So are they just going to carry on with that? Are they just going to keep their aggression up, do you think?
What am I?
I mean, that's a whole 1000 XP more that Sonia's managed to soak in that lane. I think that shows with the XP at the top there. Okay, so are they going to stay in this different rotation? Because they're allowing Grief to come up. It looks like Plasmatic need to change up what they're doing if they want to catch up here. I mean, Grief Gaming are playing very well here. They're playing very well.
They know that 10 is just around the corner for them, so they were going aggro. They wanted to get the fort there to confirm.
But you're saying they've been aggressive. They've been aggro the whole game.
I mean, and they were very far up there, and you saw Heiser.
Speaking of very far up there, Meneldor getting away with 60 HP. Wow.
That has allowed the team to pick up 10, so Melendor leaving is what you want. Well, has taps. So
what heroic abilities are we seeing on the side of...
Obviously, Warlord's challenge, the Masai shove from Stukov, not the what is it?
It's called Horrify.
Yeah, but not the other one. The
Reign
best
of Destruction.
Yeah, and then Ribbon and Terran, Wow Women from the Junkrat, and then Wrath of La Berserker from Sonia.
It looks like Doomstream could be getting a gank here, but he's hearthed out, so he's okay.
Played with vision, but now
they're doing Korean bush meta.
This is really difficult for Plasmatic eSports because how far up do you leave?
He's trying to hide behind that wall as if that's enough. What? Oh my gosh. If they do this, oh, you're in for a treat here, audience. It looks like with 100% Zerg wave.
Getting away, baby.
Oh, they're going to get the throw, and he's thrown. Doomstream down. What a kill.
That is 10's picked up.
It just goes to show the win harder conditions that you can do, you know what I mean?
So we have nothing out of the ordinary apart from a lava wave. It is lava wave with a gust.
It's going to come out now, surely.
Well, not now because he's dead for 7 seconds, but after that.
Yeah, well, when he comes out, he's going to immediately do it.
Binged away by Junkrat's mine, but has...
Here we go.
That should do a tasty amount of damage to the Zerg wave, but this still could be keep because look, Sonya's popped her ulti. Ragnaros is using Molten Core, and he's going to swing his big dickus and start clearing. This may
the massive weapon of Ragnaros is clearing just enough to get the keep saved, it looks like. Wow.
Chizuma, I think, got binged by Junkrat out of position, but thankfully there was no one else to follow up on that poor little
Venko's went in deep. He could do a...
Oh,
wow.
My God. And you said, do they have the coordination? Did you... What?
So that was the throw to the fear to the tire. Oh god, now the throws come out and Ragnar's Doomshroom is getting Suki'd by Gul'dan, and that
He
does
must
actually confirm
be
the kill. He
hating
throws
life.
Enabler in, trying to enable another kill, but it does not work. It does not come to anything, we'll say.
They're going straight for the boss
Going
now.
straight for the boss. They just want to get some more map pressure. That's all this map's about. Map pressure, and guess what they're doing? They're applying map pressure. Hawk.
They've got the gust, but he's too slow.
They haven't got the Gust. Gust was used to try and save Venko earlier.
Oh,
he gets
of course.
banged up position. He power slides away, hitting 2. The stun comes out from Hanzo, hitting 3, but there's no follow-up. But I think it's just retreat is the name of the game.
Oh!
Boosh! The W build from Hanzo confirms the kill on Garrosh.
And Hyza goes down. That is it. Now they've got to do a defense here, and I'm just not sure how easy this is going to be for them. W build Hanzo is strong enough though to chunk this thing, especially with the never outmatched.
Just a note, we keep seeing that in HCC as well, that they're going WQW for the Hanzo. It's not www.hanzo.com.
Well, the reason you would do WWW is the second W gives you 150% additional non-heroic damage, which makes you good for camps and bosses. So that's sufficient in maps like Battlefields of Eternity, where you're fighting the Immortal. It gives them the race.
But this one gives
it's
you
it's even greater than Amateur Opponent.
a big boom on your Q.
It looks like the Capucci Stukov has left the game, but they needed to pause. That was it. Yeah, they needed to pause. Okay, so we've got a disconnect. Let's just go back here whilst we wait for a moment. This game is getting out of hand. My name's Halloween. To my left, we have
Jabroni Eat It From The Back, Feed of the Week.
Jabroni Bro. We are your current casters here for a best of 3 series between Plasmatic, eSports, and Grief Gaming.
And Grief Gaming.
So
hey, is that... Sorry, can I just interject? Is that we're seeing on screen, if you look up the way, is that a witch from Left 4 Dead?
Well, she says nobody loves me, and she's crying, and then there's loads of like scribbles on a wall.
Oh, it's just a very unhappy person.
I think it's. Well, I'm not sure. We'd have to. If they win the series, we will ask them.
We will shall
during their interview.
Ask the question.
We shall.
If we remember, but we
Whomst
probably won't.
will winneth this series was the question initially, and now it will be who is your logo based on? Is it a witch from Left 4 Dead? That's it.
I cannot believe how quickly all the ultimates were pulled out and popped on that ETC in this area that were in the area we saw. It was crazy. You had the throw, the taunt, the fear. You had everything just because they're like, we're going to get this kill, and they got the kill. So it's going to be difficult for Plasmatic Gaming to come back into this because they are leveled down.
For those of you that have just tuned in as well, just a little FYI, we are currently 10 minutes 37 seconds into the first game. We are currently at a pause whilst we wait for one of the players to come back online after a DC. So we're just waiting to see what happens there.
It happens. Blizzard could do with doing a little housekeeping of their customer support team and getting some of these bugs ironed out, because for 3 weeks in a row, in HCC at least, I'm pretty sure we've had the UI bug.
Yeah,
and we still experience that.
We've still got the bug with Leoric as well. When he dies, he doesn't actually show death.
That is fixed on the PTR, somebody tells me. John in the studio has just texted me.
Steve Smith, yeah.
So I mean, it would be amazing if they could get this sorted rather than releasing OP heroes.
For those of you at home that are wanting to spend your points, if you want to use points, you need to click follow on the page here that you're currently watching, and you will get points. You'll be immediately allocated points that you can then use in the bets for the second match in this series, because of course bets are now closed. That is a cat you're seeing on stream there. That's
the person with the highest points also gets to request the pizza that is made by the artisan in-house pizza maker. That is Jabroni's Eat It From The Back Feed of the Week.
Okay, so we are just about to go back into our game here now. So 4, 3.
Oh, we get a 4 this
2,
time.
1. Pause break, and we're in.
Perfect. So we see that there's Timmers and Missy in the chat now. So we've got 2/5 of Epiphany.
That's Team Epiphany, who are currently in Division 5 in this season of HeroesLounge.
Oh my god,
Venko.
the fear comes out on fear. Go! We've got the UI showing the taunt immediately after, then the throw. But the stun's trying to save his life. Sonya with the Q from the spear confirms the kill though. But the stun from Hanzo did get hit 3 peeps. The tiddly peeps on the road they go. They are walking bot lane. Molten Core is being popped early to try and save this keep. Unstoppable from Garrosh again. This Garrosh, man, he's using his unstoppable like he doesn't want to take any CC.
I don't know what I've done here.
There we go.
Sorry about that, folks at home. So that Molten Core was pretty crucial on keeping that keep alive. It's incredible that it is still alive, actually. Heiza has been spotted with a Sonic Arrow, and it looks like the entire team are going into bottom to try and recapture that beacon. But it's being answered by a rotating team from Grief.
This is quite interesting. Look, Venko's actually the tank player, but having to be on the left to stop flanks from the left rather than where you'd expect.
And it was a bait! They now throw Doomshroom out of position yet again. Heiza getting taken down in health, but he manages to secure the kill and run away with 200 HP. Venko still out at front.
Throw him into the silence, taunt him, and do everything else.
Look at Enabler. He runs straight in. He is fearless. Enabler is chasing Chazuma as best he can.
Fear comes out and Hanzo's going right into him. He gets Suki'd and Q'd by the Sonya. The throw comes out in solid butter. He's thrown the Gul'dan in.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Confirmed kill by...
And 100% Zergwave. The third objective in the game has been picked up yet again by Grief Gaming. That is outrageous. I honestly have never seen aggression levels as high as that from a Junkrat. Just coming flying through. They're not even waiting for the Zergwave.
13s have been picked up by the side of Plasmatic eSports, so this is what they needed. They needed a lifeline in the game, and they have this lifeline in the game. They have Lava Wave. I don't think that they'll have Molten Core, but they do have some way of declearing some of this gigantic wave.
Doomshroom's timing it perfectly here. There we go. It's being used to scatter them slightly. It's isolated solid butter, but I don't think they can do anything about it really.
So the Venko is stunned, and oh, that's keep gone. Right, so what do you do? Oh no, Doomshroom's been tossed into the fray.
The gust was used, but Meneldor got right into position. He's very lucky to be alive.
Are we zoomed in, or is this...
That's out.
Jesus, this is a small... There's just so much going on.
Here we go. Meneldor looking for the spear, misses it. Ripping in a Terran has been released.
Oh my god, ice block used by Malf, but it was destroyed before it could kill anybody. So they got the keep, and they're back in with this.
I don't think they're going to be able to finish. That is amazing. I thought Grief Gaming was going to end the game right here, right now.
I think one
pick,
and they could have maybe done it, but they don't want to throw this. They've not slipped up in the game at all so far, so they don't want to do anything.
Look how dangerous Enabler is. They're like, shall we do the bush meta? And Enabler's like, no, I'm still going to reveal us by throwing out these cannonballs constantly. That is ridiculous.
They're going for the camp steal. Could this be risky? No.
They're going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit.
And they're going to use this camp to try and push the bot lane.
This will be the third time they've tried to go for this. This is the third time they've tried to go for this keep, and they've not managed to get it. But here they go. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, there's a Stormbow. But it's pretty much meaningless at this stage because the level 16's been picked up, and the level difference is pretty dramatic. But let's see what they can do. Come on, Plasmatic.
Venko has been thrown and immediately stunned, taunted.
Horrified, taunted, everything.
Taunt. Silence as well, so he can't get anything off.
Hawk's taking a lot of damage here, but he manages to use his natural agility to get out. Enabler's doing his thing with a chicken wing.
Enabler's just QQing that boy down.
Ripping in a Terran!
Chazuma hits the Twilight Dream and it kills the Ribbon and Terran Tire, but Ragnaros will fall in the meantime. They will throw the Stukov because he's got a juicy lurking arm and heavy AA.
There we
go. That will be all she wrote.
I think this is game one of a best of 3 between Plasmatic eSports, and it's going in favour of Grief Gaming because this is
Pitches, we touched. I mean,
what was being touched there?
Pitches, we touched pitches.
Oh, I see.
Definitely. Well, that was.
Wow! Wow!
Oh, Jesus.
That was something. That was something. So, Grief Gaming, you get a point. Let me just assign you that now. Oosh! And you can see it in the corner, whatever the corner is.
So 15 kills to 4 in the kill feed. That was. I mean, I think there was no better hero for Heiza.
Heiza.
That's how we say it, isn't it? Well. I can't remember.
Yeah. That's how you do.
There's no better hero because he's just like, I'm going to throw you, I'm going to taunt you, you're going to get feared, and you will die. I mean, as a Garrosh player, he should be happy with how he played as Garrosh.
I would say so. Ah, I touched your knee.
Yeah, that's not all you can touch me, baby. You can touch my artisan pizza, big pepperoni. So,
Wow.
do you think... sorry, who picked that map? Do we know?
So, a member from the audience is saying, is Garrosh the best tank in the game at the moment? And Freeze This has actually replied saying, no, Heiser is the best tank in the game right now. And based on what we just saw, can't really dispute that at the moment. That was right off the bat. They were hugely aggressive.
Who do you think is the best tank in the game right now? I know it's subjective and it's like, oh, but because they can do that, because... No, just off the top of your head, go! He's going to say Diva. Listen.
No, I'm not. The thing is, I'm trying to find an argument to not say ETC, because ETC is quite...
He can get chunked down.
Well, I mean, he can.
He can get silenced so he can't pull his mosh pit.
That did just happen.
I can tell you who it is.
Who is it?
It's Heiser.
It's Heiser! Yeah, Heiser PogChamp. There we go.
I do like Garrosh myself because I think he's...
For the people that are watching at home, if you want to spend your points on the next contest, which will be coming up in the second game, you need to click follow in the corner, and then that will award you immediately 10 points, which you can then use on the bet for the next game. Let's go see how that's going. So, Grief Gaming offer the opponents the choice between first pick or map pick, and Venko of Plasmatic eSports has decided that they would rather take map pick rather than the first pick. Now, which map in the... Oh my gosh, I've run my eyes. Apologies.
Sorry, Grief Gaming won that.
Yes.
We are confirming.
Mm-hmm.
We are confirming.
Issue your points. So well done for those who just won. There we go. The lobby's about to be opened, and we're about to issue the points.
The points have been issued. Right, so this next map, Guess at Home. It's a thrice lane map. 3 lanes.
3 lanes.
There is an objective that spawns as per normal.
This camera.
What happens after the objective spawns, you say?
Oh.
There are people who pop out, and you kill these people. They're not people, they're little... okay, they're not little people, we won't call them
Guardians.
that. Guardians. You kill them, and once you kill them, somebody else comes out, and he or she will push for you.
And he makes a really cool audio.
That one.
That's
Can you guess what it is?
It's a big hint for you at home.
So, yeah, so that is a map. 3-lane map. Kill 40 guys. Something comes out, pushes for you. It is...
Infernal Shrines. There we
A
go.
great map. We all like... Look, this is my microphone, but it looks like I'm speaking into this one, doesn't it? It looks like I'm speaking into this one. So this is a great map. Because you are guaranteed a team fight. Plus, there's a lot of macro play needed. Because you can kind of win the map. And it makes getting the objective easy. Freeze This so close, yet so far with Braxis. Unfortunately, Freeze This, we saw Braxis last game. So that is not correct.
Okay, so our teams are just getting themselves ready after that short break, and then we will be going to Infernal Shrines for the second game of this series. Exciting stuff. Let's see what happens. Flava Saver, of course, I just noticed, has got a tweet in the corner there saying this will be a nice game today with Plasmatic eSports in HeroesLounge.
A lot of masters showing their emblems.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually wanting to check, in fact, if they're hiding Grandmaster status, but for sure they're all Masters, which is good. I mean, look at that, rank 1,502 player level. That's a lot of games. That is a lot of games. Okay,
oh my
so
God,
are
and
our
they're
teams
all on
ready?
Gazlo. What's Capucci doing? Capucci. It's Capucci, isn't it?
Well, we've got folks still trying to guess the map, and they're still saying the wrong map, so that's good. Okay, we're going in
You have
to
been here
the
by
draft.
spaghetti next trainer.
We're going into the draft.
So
now.
Freeze This again, guessing Braxis, but no, Braxis was...
Oh no, she said Frieza was saying Hanamura.
I'm kidding.
Okay,
That
so
was me.
my name's
Ruined it.
Halloween. To my left is my co-caster.
Jabroni, eat it from the back to the feed of the week. Eat what from the back? Why are you saying? What do I eat from the back?
No,
I'm referring pizza this time. Turn it upside down because the cheese is on the bottom.
because we had your
200
artisan
IQ
pizza
plate.
tutorial, of course. That's exactly right. So we're going into the draft for Game 2 of this series. We've got Plasmatic eSports on the left
don't
and
do it.
Grief Gaming on the
Don't
right.
do it, Grief Gaming.
It looks like they're about to ban Johnny Wallbanger. So Johnny Wallbanger, aka Diablo Lord of Terror, is out of the series. Gutted.
Second, yeah,
I like
second
him.
favourite warrior from me. I love to watch.
Yeah, you were asking me favourite tank or best tank in the game right now. He's certainly a contender. Certainly.
He's a very,
Right.
very, 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 very
In fact,
hairy.
had you asked me this after the Western Clash, I would have absolutely said he was the best tank in the game.
Ooh,
Because of the way Breeze played him.
So we have Grosh banned. So 2 of the Juicy Warriors have been banned out. You saw the value that Heiser got on Grosh. So just remove him. Just remove him from the game. Hanzo this time being snap picked. He's got good PvE, he's got good damage, and he's got a stun on his level 10 that sets up for a lot of dupes.
So we've got the question out there. Whomst will winneth thy next game? If you think Plasmatic's going to even it up, it's exclamation bet space A space the amount of points you'd like to spend. If you don't know how many points you've got, exclamation points into the chat. If you think Grief Gaming, also spelt wrong again, is exclamation bet space B space the amount of points you'd like to spend. If you want some points, if you immediately want some points, just click follow on the channel in the corner. You'll get some points. I think everybody should do it.
Is give set up here? Type in exclamation mark give.
Give, yeah.
Is receive set up here?
Why are you asking me to...
Is top and bottom set up here?
Why am I typing all this stuff in? Discuss the draft while I sort this out.
So yeah, so Hans was picked up as we saw. Stukov with his AoE silence. We saw that Grief Gaming getting a lot of grief done with the silence from Stukov. There's a lot of choke points. There's a lot of areas where you can get some silency boys. So you take the Stukov. You remove him from the map pool that Grief Gaming wanted to pick. Maybe.
We've got
ECT again picked up.
We've got Clark Adam Gray watching on the chat there. I just saw him complain that he's got 0 points. That's a shame. But keep watching, Clark. You'll get some points, and then you can bet on one of these 2 Division 1 teams full of masters. This is top-end players competing in Europe at the moment right now to move up in Division 1. Both
and
teams
if Heroes isn't your thing right now, there's always the Artisan Pizza channel, found on Social Eating.
We will, before the end of this stream, show another minute or so of Jabroni's Artisan Pizza tutorials. I can't believe we're going to do that, but yeah, okay. Brilliant.
So the ETC again, as we've spoken about, Johanna. Oh, this is a... Well,
yes,
first of all, this is
the
an early
Monkey King Samuro. And Western ETC yet again.
Oh, no Monkey King. Yeah, this guy can be played in a weird solo support Abathur comp. So we might even see that because you know they didn't pick their Stukov up early. They didn't do anything. This is not the best angle for me, but I will keep going. And the Joanna's a juicy hero because guess what? Mayev's not been banned yet. So if Maiev was to be picked up, Joanna can kind of be a little bit of a counter to that with the D and the blinding. And Joanna can W before an ETC starts his mosh and pull him straight out. But she does have her CC for hitting people at level 10 if she wants. But we did see Fallen Sword the other day. And she can pull all the Shriney boys in together with her W, allowing things to be killed.
Yeah, Samuro's excellent for taking the camps on this map. It's gonna be very interesting to see.
And they binned off the Sonya as well. So Malfurion banned, so that's another good healer. So
They
juicy
played
tanks.
Sonya though. They played the Sonya last time.
Yeah, but
My blades are yours.
they
is
played
what
the
she
Sonya
says.
last time, but they obviously have somebody in mind, and they're saying, I don't want a very strong solo laner to go against you. By the way, Halloween, it's Grief Gaming. That is my spelling, not Halloween.
Yeah,
no, that's Halloween spelling.
Yeah, I spelt it correct every time. It's actually Jabroni.
I before E, except after C.
Yeah, and you've still done it wrong.
That's
twice.
not my fault. That's Google. That's
yeah,
spell check.
We will blame everybody else. Don't
That's
worry
spell
about
check.
it. So anyway, we are waiting for 2 counter picks. Now, Chizuma picked Malfurion last game, but then banned it this game. And Grief Gaming played Sonya and have now banned Sonya. This is bizarre that they're doing this. They're countering their own picks. But obviously playing the same picks wasn't going to be the change-up that they needed. They're going to put some English on it by taking the opponent's Junkrat off of them.
As well. I mean, that's 2 out of 3.
And
5.
they've taken Kael'thas, who is, with his living bomb, going to spread around a lot of damage inside that shrine. So, yeah, I think Kael'thas is an excellent pick for this map. Genji, though, is a suitable answer for that Kael'thas because he can stay on him.
Sit on his face, can't he?
He can just sit on him and keep chasing him down, which is excellent. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think at the moment both teams have got a lot of range.
Who do you think we're going to see here? Abathur. Abathur.
Do you think? Oh, that would be ridiculous. Or Gazlo. Can you imagine?
Well, no, they need a healer. That's what I'm saying.
Why are you saying Abathur then?
Healing Abathur build. Because it's so weighted on. It's just going to be a Rhaegar or something, I bet you, or a loser. It's going to be something not as interesting, but I'd love to see it.
4 seconds to go. Let's see what they get.
Come on. Ah, Morales.
Lieutenant Morales.
Lieutenant Morales.
If you're British, it's Lieutenant.
So that's a Skinergy as well. Joanna and Morales both in the Enforcer skins as well. So that's got to be some extra damage. And you've got the Shimada brothers. So, I mean, they've got some synergy on the side of Grief Gaming.
Both Dragon Brothers, yeah. Both with cybernetic legs, but only one of them, it's called natural
Don't
agility.
do this again, please.
But with Genji, it's cyber agility. Why is that? They've both got cybernetic legs. Arguably, Hanzo's legs are even more cybernetic than Genji's. Genji's looks like their trousers.
Are you hearing this guy? God damn it. Okay.
God damn it!
Right,
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why don't they address this?
There's a lot more wrong with this goddamn game than just those stupid name talents. This...
Finish your sentence. Here we go!
Yeah, this is
Blaze.
This is now the time that they have to go, right, we want a solo laner that can do his things. Blaze can also double soak. Blaze
He
can
can
stop
double soak,
a
yep.
wombo combo. Blaze can stop his friends from dying because he has bunker.
They've put all their eggs in the basket of Keel'Thas and Junkrat for damage, but that is good baskets to sit in.
And yeah,
I would say. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left in the competition. If you would like to bet A for Plasmatic, bet B for Gref Gaming, apparently, as it's spelt like that. And there you go. Right, so
I can't believe you misspelled that. What?
What? It wasn't me.
It's on me. It was mistography setting out.
Let's blame it on her for sure. It was mistography, or we'll blame it on the keyboard cat.
Keyboard cat. That was it. Yeah, I was doing it. And
chicken wing.
The cat.
Hey, I just realised we've got all these doors open. We should maybe be closing them. No, we'll leave them on. It's fine.
Oh, and can we open a fridge door where one of these might be sitting for me?
So Freeze This is telling us that he's just received some intel that Samuro was a misclick.
No
way. I actually think it's quite a cool pick. I mean, it's they can afford the loss and
Do we
bring us
know
into
who
a
it
third
was meant
series.
to be?
Let's see this. Do we know who it was meant to be? Freeze This. If you could find out who it was supposed to be, that'd be interesting.
Unfortunately, Give is not set up, but we would have gifted you some points if you could have.
Well, it might be, isn't it?
Man on the inside. 5. Does it work?
I don't think it's
Don't
going to
think
work.
it
I've
does.
got to set it up. Okay, so we are...
Plus, you put an extra E.
plus we're miles late now, so hold on. Let's transition
Let's
through.
transition.
On the left-hand side, we have Plasmatic eSports with Doomshroom this time playing Blaze. We've got Venko again on ETC. Flava Seva this time playing the Junkrat. Hawk off Hanzo and onto Keel'Thas. Chizuma supporting as usual with Stukov. Jabroni.
It is Bucci on the Morales, Solid Butter on the Hanzo this time. Heiza playing the Shohana. Menedalor on the Junkrat, and Enabler trying to enable his team as the Genji.
That's right, it's all very impressive. Let's go into the level 1 talents. Anything unusual?
The only thing unusual is Venko is getting chunked by these boys and will run away. Doomshroom peeling for his team. Well, Hanzo is going into the auto attack build this time.
Yeah, we've not seen that for quite some time. We did see it at the Western Clash, but it's been changed up away from the meta. But it's really good. There's nothing to say it's not powerful. It's just that if you die, you've got to do it again, and that can be really bad late game.
So it is Blaze versus the Samurai. Oh, do we have chat up to see if anybody can confirm what it was meant to be? Venko falling really low, getting chunked, and more chunked. The Genji will just keep on throwing out his shurikens, but he will get away safely. Not the same kill pressure as last game.
Both teams doing a rotation, it would appear. Bottom, mid, mid, bottom, power bottom, and then back to mid.
Very easily done when you've got somebody like KT. Harder to do if you've got somebody like Hanzo without level 4. Heiser just walking up, getting the W, hitting in 2 people, and Genji follows, chunking away at the Venko again and again and again.
Do you know, this, I mean, if this was a misclick and they've got the wrong team, I love how they're just going in for it anyway, because they are so aggressive that they cannot actually get away with this. Enabler's hungry for those kills. Look at him chunking down Venko. He wants him, but he's not going to get him.
The silence is getting Genji. He cannot get out there. The living bomb on him, but he saves his deflect. to stop the damage. That was
Well,
smelly.
I don't think he was saving it. I actually think, yeah, there's one over there. You can get Mistography to sort you out with the studio fridge. But yeah, the thing I'm trying to say there is with Stukov's silence, you can't use deflect.
Cannot use it, but he managed. He got boofed out of it. Used the deflect, which was smelly, great, and everything.
Enablers went into bottom lane to try and get a head start on this because, as you've maybe noticed, he's late on the rotations. Well, his team struggle with the rotations because, like you say, they don't have their level 4 yet. Speaking of level 4s,
Oh my god.
they've picked them up already.
They have picked them up already, and everyone's just going. So we're seeing the E-build Genji rather than the single target. Hands are going for the Q to. This is a juicy little level 4 talent for Hansa. Oh, the W coming out. Hyza is Dr. Aggro right now. A PhD in aggressiveness. Oh, Enabler to go in, Swift strikes in and kills the Junkrat and does a jump while not dying. Huge.
He managed to get out. That was absolutely huge for him. For him to get out of that before the flame strike went off is just typical Genji play. That is delicious. So Flavor's actually paused the game. It's the first time we're seeing a pause from the Plasmatic eSports this time. Let's see.
Who? Lags.
Lags, there we go. Let's call it that.
Sort your shit out, Blizzard.
They're saying that. Well, yeah, they're saying that. We're getting chunked there pretty dramatically. So let's see. So what's people in the Twitch chat saying?
They're saying, what kind of pizza do you make? Well, I make artisan pizza. I make pizzas artisan style.
Can you?
Neapolitan pizza.
But
Not
it's
Nepalese.
only Neapolitan if the cheese is from Naples. Is that correct?
No, it's. I'm pretty sure it's like you need to make it with a specific a set of ingredients, and it's buffalo milk.
Buffalo milk.
Mozzarella
From
Naples. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is one of the deciding factors.
Oh wow. So yeah, we've heard it. We've heard it from the Twitch chat there. So they're saying that the Samuro was actually supposed to be a Junkrat. So when that was taken, the opponent actually stole Junkrat from out of their feet, and that will be so upsetting for them.
I mean, we're gonna see what happens. Do you think we're gonna see the meme Blade Storm, or do you think it will be the Illusion Master? I mean,
the mincer, where they spin around like a mincer.
The Junkrat.
Because they cut everybody into pieces.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Why? What do you think of it?
Yeah. I mean, remember, we saw this at the highest level of competitive play at the weekend with Tricked Esports misclicking in the swap round and swapping their tank for damage dealer, I think it was. Their damage dealer was playing a tank on the Cursed Hollow game. So this does happen. Things like this does happen. You also, you've also been in a team league probably, and you've said, can we lock in this hero? And unbeknownst to you, the person locking in the hero's cat had jumped onto the desk, failed to lock in the hero, and you end up with a Murky or something.
That has happened. We've seen this sort of thing occur before. It's never a good thing, but hey ho. Plus, we've got a minute. I'll have a nice, refreshing mint. Would you like one?
Yeah, okay.
Here we go. We've got a minute here whilst we wait. We are at minute 3, or near enough, of the second game of this series. What a shame that we are pausing constantly like this. What is this?
Just let the lags go.
What can I say? What can I say?
It'll feel even worse because Flavor just died whilst experiencing them lags. Or why do you have all those infos?
That is Tasty Stream saying that. Tasty Stream, thanks for watching. If you'd like to click the follow in the corner, you'll get some free points which you can then use to bet on the games.
I don't understand what that question was, but we are ready, so let's ignore.
Oh, we're going back into game. All right, people, let's get ready.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back in because we have it all set up. Are we zoomed out? I think we zoomed in. I don't think we are. We definitely did not. There we go. Told you. Told you.
So we're out there, and Capucci and Enabler trying to take the bottom camp here. Venko's spied it out, and he's trying to get into position where he can use a power slide to get one of them killed. But Hawk needs to kind of be there with him to be able to do this. Looks like they've backed off. The camp's reset now. Okay, no one's going for it. I mean, they're a level ahead, but It's 3v4 now. I don't think they want to take it.
Junkrat is making his way down from mid. If they did want to, Venko goes in for the
What?
aggressive 2-man power slide and getting on the Kabuchi. But that has left Hawk in a place where he does not want to be and will fall. Enabler is going to chunk down the ETC. Will he go for the strike? No, he doesn't.
Venko's
Cooler
very
heads
low.
prevail, and he does not do that.
It's Toasty stream, I'm being told by the Twitch chat now. Anyway, so they get that kill and they get the camp. You couldn't ask for much
Double
more
value,
than that.
that's what you want, yeah.
Blaze getting taken into a lot of trouble here. Can Doomstream make it out? Oh! He almost did. But did you see how Heiser got into the in the way from his?
So the charge blocked actually just. The charge was blocked and hit and stunned Heiser. But while that was happening, everybody else was killing them.
Level 7 picked up by Grief Gaming, and the first objective is now live. They're more than a quarter of the way through. They're approaching halfway, and their rivals haven't even arrived. I think they're just going to give this one.
You just want. I mean, you don't want to follow behind too quickly in the map, so they probably just want to get the XP soak and think we can de-push this if we need to. Level 7s haven't been picked up, so they're going to go aggressive. I think they want to at least get one kill.
Here we go.
Force a fight out, maybe.
They're coming in. They've managed to push them off.
The Rue has come out on the Genji. He will be power slide. He will be chunked. He gets boofed, but he does have his protected by the way, and he will run out and get healed up by the Morales.
Meldor, his clone's disappearing. Extra damage going down to the Guardians from Hawk, but don't know if it's going to be enough. Chizuma needs to get his silence out.
Big W from Heiser as well. But yeah, all the while, Solid Butter was just chunking away at the minions. Oh my god, Genji Swift strikes in. And maybe does confirm the kill. He does confirm the kill on the KT again.
I don't think they're finished yet. Solid Butter is trying to get flavour.
He does have protected, and he will be healed by the Morales again. That was big.
Big if true.
Big if true.
We just saw it. Okay, so here we go. John Cena hops the wall. Venko's managed to lure him in towards the...
Enabler's just going dick deep. He's just like, I'm not waiting for you guys to get the wall down. I'm going to junk because the tower's damage was being soaked by the Mortar Punisher. He jumps on Flavor. Flavor is falling really low. Genji sees that and goes straight in, but the silence again from Chizuma stops any more advancing. That was huge from Chizuma.
They're losing the fort though. Fort goes down. There we go. All the while, Doomstream trying to push up top lane, but Samaro's coming to answer. Okay, so having a look at talents there. 10's just around the corner. Let's see how this goes. What do you think you're going to see out of Heroics here?
I don't know if... I mean, Mosh... Venko might go Mosh just purely because it can confirm a kill, but there's so much to...
There's so much to get him out of that. You've got the Dragon's Arrow, you've got Condemn from Johanna. Oh, look at this!
So we go straight in. He is power slided onto the point, and now Solid Bar has to make the choice. Do I want to fight this, or do I not?
And they steal the camp. Well done, Plasmatic. That's... Oh, in comes the Dragon Arrow because they managed to immediately lock in their level 10s.
All the while, he's hitting Hawk. He's just chunking Hawk away, and they're trying to get away. Genji comes in with a Dragon Blade and kills KT. Confirms the kill on Junkrat again.
Look at this, and he's in, and he's out, and he's zipping, and he's a ripping and a tearing. The wild women, and everybody's dead. Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so just in answer to freeze this, we are very aware of the controls for Observer. It's just, it would appear that it wasn't working for a while, and we've now just realised, so apologies. Anyway, they're doing a solid invade here. This is brave.
They do have 10s. It's difficult. Because as Plasmatic eSports, do you want to go in for it and fight pre-10 or do you not? And I guess they do. They do. There are a lot of ultis must have been spooged.
I mean, that's a 5v4 if Doomstream gets in.
Doomstream has come down and now Kabuchi is not where they want to be. The what do you call it? Stimdrone comes out on the Hanzo and he is just chunking away at the Blaze. Blaze is falling quite low.
Unbelievable! They got it! I can't... But is it going to be worth it if they all die?
That's a gigantic stun with the Dragon Arrow. Doomstream actually lived as well.
Huge value! Huge value for Plasmatic. To actually manage to push them off without level 10 and all live and get the camp. That's huge. Huge. Big if true.
Big if true.
Unbelievable, so it is. Okay, so there is life in the old dog yet. They might actually... Oh, looks like Enabler's wanting a piece of Hawk, but can Hawk do anything? Probably not. Venko's coming out to try and push away Enabler, and Enabler recognises.
Oh my god!
Stage dive.
No.
What?
Look at Junkrat's ulti. Look at Junkrat's only, baby!
Oh, it's going to be mental.
The rocket ride, boy!
That followed by a stage dive with flailing swipe. They're all over the place with this team fight. It's going to be interesting to watch. You're in for a treat,
Man,
people.
This is crazy. This is something I've actually never seen by people.
This is Masters. These are Grandmasters and stuff, and they're throwing out that Junkrat ultimate with
I'm
a stage
so
dive.
happy to see this. I mean, it's in a way it's almost a global at level 20 if you go the upgrade, because it's 20% cooldown and you can boost anywhere you want to be on the map because you're at like 350% speed or something. It's so nice. But oh, the Dragon comes out and it hits too. ETC will try and zone for it, and he will power slide straight onto the Genji, but protected by the way stops him from taking the final killing blow.
Doomstream's actually already on the objective, and they're making a point of starting it early, which is very good. I totally agree with this, but the opponents are now running up. Grief Gaming are running up, and they can kill him. They can kill him if they get there, but without his team.
He does
Stage
have the wall,
dive could come up to
but
help
he
him.
knows that this was tanked last time. Oh, he's going to try and walk out. He will bunker, but he does not get
What a
it
shame.
off.
What a shame. Excellent play by Grief Gaming. They knew they just needed to get up there as quick as possible and murder him, and that's what they did. There was no messing. They just went on and murdered him. That is a bad place for Plasmatic at this stage. They did not need to lose that life. But never mind, he's up in 5 seconds, and then he can run up, and they can maybe still try and do something. But
The one bonus here, okay?
okay, one bonus.
For
You get
Plasmatic.
one bonus.
No, okay. The bonus for Plasmatic is they decided to pull the camp. They didn't show on any waves. Normally, what you see between teams is if they don't go to the objective, the team on the shrine will go, right, we'll just leave one person on the shrine, and we're going to butter up the top lane and get the wall down, get the camp, and then make the Punisher push even harder.
Sure.
Because there was no one shown on the wave, everyone from Grief Gaming was like, right, we'll just completely clear this as quick as possible. So, I mean, that's a bit of a lifeline for Plasmatic Gaming, is that it is now only just on the keep with 80, on the fort with 75% health.
Okay, so the second objective goes in favour of Grief Gaming. It's a frozen Punisher, and it's now marching down top lane on the way to the keep. Plasmatic eSports are going to have to resist this if they want to stay in this series.
Junkrat tries to boop over the Joanna, but she pops the unstoppable just in time. The silence is going down, but Chamuza has to break the silence because Genji sits on the face of Sukov. Dragon Hour comes out and it is dodged by everyone in Plasmatic eSports.
Junkrat's doing good work here with his mines, and they managed to bait the frozen Punisher in such a way that he took more tower shots without dealing damage.
But they keep up, which is what you wanted. That, like I said, could have been due to them not buttering up the lane. Do you know what I mean? If that just went straight onto the fort and then straight onto the...
They learnt their lesson from Doomstream, and now they're coming to murder him with Venko.
Venko doesn't care because he has an ETC with stage dive, so if there is no interrupt, he will just stage dive out of there if he feels like he's going to die.
Meneldor's going to get the hard camp to apply more pressure, like Maximo Park.
And 13s have been picked up, so they're finally on an equal talent here.
If any of our viewers at home remember Maximo Park's Apply Some Pressure, let us know in the Twitch chat. Okay, so Grief Gaming starting to run away with this a wee bit. They're about to hit level 16, which will put them 3 levels in the lead. They've certainly taken 2 forts, and they've won 2 objectives. That's looking good for them, eh?
It is looking juicy. Oh, 16, yeah. 16s are in.
Is there a pretty substantial... Well, the thing is, we've not seen the combo come out from Plasmatic's team fight yet. We do see ETC finish his Prog Rock quest there, which will be helpful for him, but... Be interested to see this team fight.
It depends what they were going to do. They could take this fight if they want, because ETC can stage dive in, and it is a 5v4. It is a talent tier down, but
I think they're going to go for it. It's now or never.
They get it. The Dragon Hour comes out. ETC is stage diving in the back. Everyone jumps in the bunker to stop the damage, but Morales goes down. Focused. The Morales comes out in the comms, and they kill it. Now the Gravity Labs on the solid butter. And Hanzo is dead immediately after. Enabler trying to confirm the kill on Hawk, but the power slide comes out and kills him, and the twat away.
Enabler gets away with 50 health.
But no Flavor, look with his 200. No! Oh my god! Oh.
I did not see that. I thought he was away.
He came fucking flying in, and the W from Junkrat as well. Flavor playing out of his mind. That's some Flavor Flav.
What just happened? What just happened?
Oh my god! Speeding past.
That way, he just
fight.
went flying past. It was so quick. It was so quick.
That was huge.
Wow. Wow.
He will feel very good about that. Genji will be
They're still in. They're
hitting
still
it
in
up.
the game then.
That's twice now. The team fight has taken place over at that camp, and twice now
Do you know
it's
what?
gone the way of
Plasmatic, for being behind, they have stolen camps left, right, and centre here on this map, you know? Structurally, they're miles behind, but they have now caught up on levels. It's 16-16, they've got the same level.
Which can be quite worrying if you are Grief Gaming, because
For sure.
if you win a shrine on the side of Plasmatic, because you have all these structures up, you start taking structures, you start getting big XP, jumping jacks. So difficult. I mean, a really good use of the ETC stage dive using the glow ball, baiting the Samuro in bot lane, and you saw that Samuro was sending one of the clones up, but it wasn't in time.
So I think Grief Gaming are going to respect their opponents a bit more. They're not going to dive in so hard this time.
So Flavor it's a 4v4 down here. Samuro is in the top lane, but ETC with the glow ball is combating that. So this is quite interesting, because again, it could be a 5v4 at a moment's notice. Samuro is sending one of the clones down so that he is ready for a big boy.
That's
5v5.
it. So I think Samuro's coming. ETC's going to recognise that he's left, and he's going to stage dive straight in. But because they've got kill fast, they're able to gain such a lead.
Oh, Samuro flank gets stopped. Oh,
in comes ETC's stage dive. He's in position. Enabler's already doing dips here. Solid Butter has been boosted, stimmed up.
But they're not getting the kills because of the the Blaze's bunker. He's managed to stop the Genji, but the Genji does get on the backline and kills the Stukov. Hawk will fall as well to the swift strike from the Genji, or whatever it's called.
Genji does go down. Hyza's the next opponent. Can Flavor and Doomstream get him?
Melindor on Mene Eldor is coming with a flank as the Samuro,
Oh!
and he kills the Blaze dead to rights. But now Jungler's just going to throw out the Qs, and he does. Hyza is falling really low, but is now going to get healed up by the Morales as they turn on.
This is
ATC,
outrageous. It is just... The thing is, they're at 30 minions. Flavor could conceivably still steal this just by timing his cannonballs. Perfect.
Just by timing. It is difficult to do, though, because look, Hyza is in his friggin' head.
Yeah, Hyza doesn't want Flavor to get any of these grenades out. It's 30 to 35. I think
They've
he's
overtaken
conceded.
them. Yeah, I think that's happened. That is it. And that is the Arcane Punisher. A great team fight, though.
That was... Do you know what? So much. So much.
The Genji's just doing so much. The Genji's just sitting on the Stukov, then he's sitting on the KT, then he's just... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Arcane Punisher, statistically the most powerful Punisher. Third objective of the game going yet again in favour of Grief Gaming.
And it is healthy walking up to the keep front door.
It's going to be a painful one because, as we say, very, very difficult to contend with. But they're throwing out, they're preparing, they're getting ready for the defence here. Junkrat doing Dermge, as you would expect. Now it's 68%. They managed to bait it over.
Do you know what's really interesting is look at the minimap. Look at what Grief Gaming are doing. Look where Joanna is.
Yeah.
They're not pushing with it, but Joanna's up there buttering up top lane. Oh, they're gonna get this. They're gonna get the camp without having a scrap over it this time. This is exactly. Maybe it's just kind of a kind of sore point for them, so they just wanted to get the camp once without a scrap and go, there we go. Now we get to keep top lane. We've buttered up bottom lane, and now we can butter up top lane.
Yeah, there's no defense here.
Ooh,
it's
and
an all or
20s have been
nothing.
picked up.
20s have been picked up. Storm talents in favour.
Indestructible coming out from Joanna. The 3-man stun, and the play of the game goes out. Hanzo is going to start wailing on people. Phoenix is down to try and stop any more pushing by Grief Gaming. But the pushing comes and the pushing goes.
That's it. So we see level 20s, everything that you would kind of expect. Let's see. Solid Butter, he's very dangerous at this point now. They're just going around and painting the map red. And can Plasmatic actually deal with that? I don't know if they can.
Menel'Dor is just griefing everybody with these Samuros. So we had one in the bush down there.
How is it this far into the base? That is just ridiculous that they're allowed to do that. Look at this. They're walking around painting the entire map red, and I don't think there is a thing Plasmatic can do to stop them at this stage. They need 20s. They need 20s like now, and then then it could be a genuinely fair team fight. And let's see what happens.
They are only one level behind, away from 20, and all the lanes are being pushed in. This is what you want if you're Plasmatic eSports, because all the lanes are being pushed in. It means XP coming to your face. You know?
Yeah, I suppose you don't have to go very far for it, but all these camps just adding so much pressure. They're on constant back foot. They're defending.
It's crazy that they've still got all their keeps. That is batty, kind of.
It's
you know?
batty, isn't it?
A lot of this one, Junkrat says, as he boops the Khazra camp. Is it Khazra camp? I don't know.
It's Siege Camp.
Yeah, but I think they're. I don't know what they're called in Diablo, if I'm being honest. I will stop that.
Okay.
The clears are coming out. This is risky. The lifeline for Plasmatic eSports there was that they saw a camp being pulled in the top right, so they know that it wasn't going to be a hard,
half a level
hard
till
on
we get the
engage.
big fight. It's almost as if they're the Grief Gaming are giving them a chance here, because they if I was them, I'd be wanting to scrap before they get 20.
It's just like, what is there to scrap over? You're trying to advance into a keep, and there's nothing you can't really do it without just kind of pushing up the lane.
I guess you're right. They've got the camps coming in every different direction. They've got Samuro up here with a bruiser camp and
Samuro down there. This guy's an illusion master, if you will.
Oh, that was clever. Level 20s. Here we go. It's now a fair free for all.
As the shrines have come up, this is perfect.
Bolt of
for
the Storm,
Plasmatic
Controlled Chaos, not picked. Cannonball. Cannonball will deal so much more damage. Look at that. Enabler's he's gonna have trouble with dealing with that. And we're seeing Flamethrower and the Fortified Bunker.
Bolt of the Storm from ECT as well, so he will look to.
Is that the real Samuro? No, for gosh.
No, they can all be the real Samuro because he's Illusion Master. They can all be the real Samuro at a moment.
Here he
Enabler
comes.
has come in now. Doomshroom saving the CC for him, but he has the natural agility and jumps away. Or what is it? Cybernetic agility or some shit. ETC stage dives in. That is a very early stage dive in. He doesn't hit anybody, but he is now with his team. Mene Eldor is just going aggro. Johnny aggro.
Johnny aggro. Heiza revealing himself from the corner. Out comes Solid Butter with play of the game. The bunkers drop. They all get their health back. The Phoenix is out. Venko's trying to CC the Enabler, but the Enabler is still alive. He finally goes down.
He was going dig deep for Chizuma, and he finally gets the kill with the help of Heiza. So that is the healer down, but Genji out. Bombs away coming out from the Junkrat, and he's wanting to hit the Morales. Bings him, but doesn't do as much damage as he'd hoped. KT dies while all that is going on. Heiza is chasing, body blocking and everything. Doomshroom falls as well. Solid Butter is hopping the wall to try and kill Venko. The power slide comes out to get away, and thankfully Flavor's there to help his boy out.
Do you know, I think Flavor had a moment there where he could have went left or he went right, and he chose to go right for the Morales, but had he went left, I think he might have got a kill. I honestly think he might have got a kill.
I don't know, because Heiza was very low, but had the indestructible. So yeah, and I don't think it was popped. So I mean, this could be game. There's two people left to defend it. It's 30-40 second death timers, and it's a 72% Punisher jumping on Venko. Power slide comes out to hit one of the clones of Mene Eldor, and Venko's falling really low.
Here we go. Flavor trying his best to get as much damage out, but the core is at 40% and falling. Venko's going to try and do something. John Cena punches him 2%, and it is G. I am always hitting the wrong button.
I am sweaty.
Oof. That was 14 takedowns in favour of Grief Gaming against the 7 on Plasmatic eSports, who have unfortunately lost this series against a very excellent opponent, Grief Gaming. They did very well. Both teams did very well. That was hugely exciting when Plasmatic had a turnaround there. But what have you done?
I'm trying to unlock my phone.
Okay, well, we'll give it a couple of seconds anyway. So, for those of you at home, thanks for watching. We're now about to pull in for interview.
One of the players from Grief Gaming for a winner's interview, and we shall get to hear maybe a bit more about that Samuro pick that worked out for them.
Let's do that. So we'll just dive into the interview room here. Hello. There we go. Yes, you can hear me now. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
So we're just waiting.
Can you hear me now?
A member of Grief Gaming to come in, and that should be us. It's been very exciting.
If you're in the chat and you want to ask a question, stick it in my face in the chat, and we will see. Heiza is ready for an interview. Brilliant. So Heiza's here, muted, but here.
Welcome, Heiza.
Hello.
First of all, congratulations on winning the series 2-0, and also this is your second series this evening. So for you to win 2 series back to back 2-0. That's not a meager feat at all. That's very impressive. So well done indeed.
Thank you very much.
No, it's honestly very impressive. So well done, absolutely.
So how are you feeling after that?
Kind of good, I guess. Like it was, it were some nice games, even though it was some grave drafting, though.
Yes, right. We need to ask about that. We absolutely need to ask about that. So we had an informant there in the form of Freeze This, who was speaking to us in the Twitch chat, who was saying that the Samuro pick wasn't on purpose. Is this true?
Yeah, it is actually true. I told Freeze. Basically, what happened, like, I was thinking about the draft for like 55 seconds, and like at the last second, I say, yeah, let's pick Johanna Junkrat. And of course, our player wasn't able to pick Junkrat in time, and we just randomly locked Muro.
Oh no! Oh my
So
god! Well, do you know what though? When we were watching that, it was very hard to keep track of Samuro, and bear in mind, that's us with a global perspective. You know, viewers at home will be thinking the same. You were able to see everything. However, even with that advantage, we still couldn't track your player because he was so good. He was an illusion master for sure. For sure.
I must say, Manalord played an amazing Samuro, so that's no doubt in that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So we've got some questions from the audience there. How do you pronounce Capucci? Are we saying it right?
Kupchi.
Kupchi.
So we're putting
Kupchi, yeah.
we're putting an extra amount of letters in there. Capucci. Where's it? So it's Kupchi.
Capucci.
Capucci.
How'd you say it? Capucci.
No, it's
It's Kupchi. It's Kupchi.
Kupchi.
Yeah, Kupchi.
she.
Right, Kupchi. There we go.
Yeah, like that, exactly.
Kupchi. Okay, and the other thing is, how do you guys always matter to ruin the early game and come back? That's Freeze saying that to you. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's actually so true. It's probably because we need to warm up, and basically my shot calling is better late game than early game. That's like a big deal, though.
Well, you were very aggressive in the first match on Braxis Holdout. Your team were tremendously aggressive. You were right up at their gates, like 2 minutes in, like taking a tower and stuff.
Yeah.
And then throwing their players and your players. You know, you were a very impressive garrosh to watch. It made for excellent entertainment for sure.
Well, at least it's fun for you guys to watch. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
It's not always working out as well. It should be, though. But it's fun.
So is this your first time in the lounge? I've got to ask that as well.
It's the first season we're playing HeroesLounge, yeah.
I've
basically kept it to Team League before this season. I've done some Open Division as well, but not really too much.
Okay. So this is your first season in Heroes Lounge, and you've done some Open Division. Excellent, by the way. That's good. So I've got to ask, your team. Are you all friends? Do you all know each other, or did you pick up free agents this season?
Well, basically, I knew Solid Brothers, our Hanzo player, ranged assassin player, from an older team I played with, and I played Nexus games with Enabler, so I know him from there.
Okay, yeah. The Nexus games, yeah.
And the rest we just picked up through Discord chats, channels and stuff, and we just tried out with different people.
So
we had
when you actually joined and went into Heroes Lounge, you had 5 names already. You weren't actually assigned any free agents.
No. We joined as 5 people into Heroes Lounge.
Brilliant. No, that's good. I'm always curious to hear if that's the case, because I feel like it impacts the synergy in team fights, and it certainly went to show with your team fights there. Speaking of crucial team fights, I have to ask, in that second game, were you guys starting to get slightly tilted by the fact that you were being pushed off of camps that were clearly yours?
My team at the end said, like, just please, Heiser, stop trying to evade their camps because we're never winning these fights, and it's probably so true.
You were getting, like, you guys had the camp, it was blatantly your camp, and then somehow at the last second you lost it, and they would take it from you. I was like, oh, what is happening here?
I must say the props to that Junkrat player, because he was really patiently waiting with the mine for my shield to run out. So he did play it really well.
When you guys watch this back on the VOD later, the crucial moment where that Junkrat player managed to kill Enabler What? None of us saw it coming.
That one, yeah, when he chased him.
He chased him on the rocket. He chased him on the
after
rocket.
the-
Oh yeah, I know.
was
You were
so good.
screaming out loud on Discord. It was so much fun.
Oh my god! Like he was away. He was practically in your Nexus core before the bomb hit him. It was so upsetting. So no. So once again, congratulations to your team. Commiserations to Plasmatic eSports, who have also been doing very well this season. It's been good to watch everybody. Have you got any shout outs or anything at all for your team or anything or?
Oh, a good question. I actually haven't thought about that. Let's just shout out to my amazing team, which are a really amazing bunch of friends. Thank you to Mammondor, because he subbed in for us.
Mm-hmm.
We have our solo laner not available this game, and a shout out to Freeze, our friend that's always there to help us.
Ah, right. Okay,
Nice one.
okay. I was wondering what the connection was there with him speaking and stuff.
So, quick question, if you don't mind, about your Joanna, level 4
Yeah.
talent. You normally, well, not normally, but you see a lot of people go on Conviction, the move speed on Condemn
Yeah.
at level 4, but you went Sins Exposed. Is there a reason for that?
Because it makes you solo wave clear a lot faster.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why I take a different 13 talent. Usually they take the hammer talent on 13, but I go for
Holy Fury.
burning. Yeah, Holy Fury. It's just because we lacked some wave clear from our part. It's only Hanzo Q's, which is not that good until level 16.
Mm.
So that's basically why I went into that build.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So I'm always interested to hear about Division 1 players at Master, Grandmaster level that are discussing sort of the nuances between certain talents. Because you played Garrosh in the first game, and one of the Garrosh players that we've interviewed within Division 1 this season has said that he never takes Warlord's challenge.
Not never, but he preferred the slow because he says you can set up the throw easier with it's comp dependent, but he says if he's using Warlord's challenge it's to confirm a kill, but if he's using the slow he's using that to confirm a throw. But you didn't have any issue with the throw because you were throwing people the synergy on those ults, by the way, when it was the throw to the taunt to the fear to the Junkrat, it was like there was just heroes dying immediately.
In the first game, you threw Doomshroom into your team, who basically landed on a Riptire as he it was just incredible timing.
I know.
So,
It was
very good fun to watch. Thank you very much for that.
So there we go. So anyway, listen, it's been a pleasure. Look forward to seeing more of your games, and we'll see you again in the lounge.
Okay, thanks for casting us. You were awesome casters.
Thank you.
Good luck in future games.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So that was Heiza of Grief Gaming. Okay, everybody. So
Grief Gaming.
if you spell it wrong every time. If you spell it wrong every time. Okay, so for those of you that have enjoyed this, thanks very much for coming along. We obviously weren't on the primary or secondary Heroes Lounge channels today. It was we were broadcasting from my own channel, which is Halloween Heroes. If you've enjoyed this channel or want to be notified of any future games, please click the follow in the corner, and then that'll give you a notification of upcoming games. What's stupid? Oh yeah, this, yeah. Yes, if you want to click the follow in the corner, that'll notify you. It'll also award you with some points, which you can then use in the contest. I am going to come up with some sort of methodology for applying VIP status and giving away raffles tickets.
Pizzas.
I'll give away artisan pizzas, and I'll give away raffle tickets so that you can get skin codes and character codes.
And request pizzas.
And to request your pizzas.
Whatever pizzas.
Nobody's wanting your pizzas, mate.
Well, no one wants to hear this. No one. Get out. Unfollow this. Go to Jabroni Bro, who eats it from the back.
Oh my gosh.
The pizza and other things.
So basically, get if you click the follow, it would assist in the growth of this, because this is an additional channel and stream for the Heroes Lounge platform. Amongst Heroes in the Storm in general. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go across to some videos now, just before we finish, of some of the interviews and that we casted at the Western Clash in Katowice. In Katowice, that's the one, yeah.
IEM.
If you enjoy this, by the way, feel free to give us questions and things that you would like to get asked by Blizzard developers or the eSports program management at Blizzard as well, and we can see if we can facilitate that for you. Or if you just want to give us some feedback, give us feedback in general. The Twitch chat's been quite talkative today, which has been good. We like to see that.
Just anything's helpful. Like even if you think I need an extra set of bicep curls, just anything like that. If you think that it's a little under seasoned for my artisan pizza, and any of these kind of bits of feedback, helpful for us.
Okay. So whilst we do that, let's do this.
Oh, this is my artisan pizza.
So then, look very lightly. Beep boop beep beep boop beep beep boop 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 beep beep boop boop. I'm making the crust now. It might look like a Cornish pasty to some viewers at home, living near Cornwall, but it's not. Look, there's the dough. Now, stretch it out a bit more. Stretch out a bit more. I'm just making the basic shape right now. Making the basic shape. Right? Making the basic shape. And now I'm going to just pick it up and I'm going to let gravity do its thing. Gravity, do your thing, gravity. Just passing it between my hands. One. See? See, it's easy. You can do this at home, folks.
Can I get your arms in this shot, your biceps?
Who's asking this?
No, me.
Oh. If you would like.
Can
My
I
hair's
get
a
you?
bit of a mess.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is the Naked Chef. Now get back to the pizza.
Hi there, I'm Halloween here from HeroesLounge with Trixler. Now Trixler, you've had a long day of casting here, so first of all, well done with that.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Easy.
It's been a very exciting day. Obviously, you're hoping for an NA victory, but Europe's given you a pretty good run for your money today.
Hey man, I'm adopted EU, okay? I'm on the EU train all day, every day. I'm hoping for a dig win. And it's good to see Zealot's actually showing up as well. Like, I'm here for Europe all the way, dude.
It's been quite surprising, for sure. Now, do you know what, actually, right? Last year, I asked Quacknix, I said, do you think there's ever a world where Nova would ever become viable again? And he said no. He quite categorically said no. He says she didn't have an escape, there was no suitable lane clear, but interestingly, over the last year, she got a covert mission which gave her an escape, and lethal decoy became baseline, which kind of gave her some lane clear. So, do you think that's changed? Is she still not viable?
We've already seen results, actually. We had Leftovers play Nova, I think in week 3 of the HEC, so there is some viability to it. It's just a matter of if a team's really going to build into her, because there is still the issue of full escape, right? You have the clone that comes out, the AI is a little bit better too, but you can still track down that Nova if you're able to dive onto a back line. So while she has gotten some strengths and we have seen her played, the issues are still there that just isn't good enough, right? Like, if you want a stealthy, why not pick up Zeratul? It gives you VP or even a little bit more damage.
Oh, I mean, we saw Zeratul today get some excellent results against Hanzo. That was difficult to watch.
He's
really.
deadly. He destroys.
Now, we got a question from Pad Palon from Twitter, who says, what's the next big feature Heroes needs to evolve as an esport? But recently we saw voice communication come into the game, and we've seen statistics suggest that it's improving win rates in Hero League and things like that. So do you think there's another feature like that Heroes might need to incorporate?
Anything that gets people into playing ranked, right? Like maybe it's clans, maybe it's something that gets people in the idea of being excited to actually play the game in some competitive mode, because I feel like while our player base is excited about the game and wanting to play, there's certain heroes that have been in the Blizzard franchise and IPs, I feel like we need a little bit more skilled players to come on over and want to play at the highest level, right? Push the people that are currently playing right now to become better and better and better. We want this to be a serious esport, and one that we watch competitive play happen a lot. So anything that does that, that gets people to come in and say, you know what, this is a game that I can play with my friends, that I can learn how to get that teamwork down and work on synergy, that's what I want for Heroes of the Storm, because you're right, voice comms, big step, massive step. It's restored my fate in Hero League, right?
Oh,
like,
big time.
Yeah, like now that I can actually talk to my teammate and say, hey, listen, maybe running the Gazlo's not going to work here, but if you're going to do it, let's at least build a team comp together.
I mean, I've seen 3 stacks go in with 2 randoms, and people are actually quite willing to join the chat and speak, even across different countries and languages.
You always
it's been
forget
amazing.
there's another person behind that computer and keyboard, right? And the moment you hear a voice, suddenly you have that connection.
A
That's
lot more
human.
personal.
Exactly. Very good.
For sure. Tom Gwells of Gwells Heroes, he was asking, from a draft point of view, do you think the games needs more like auto attack heroes or support heroes or mages?
I mean, it's kind of hard to like just give you an answer right now because of how the meta changes so drastically based on some changes, right?
Sure.
Like support gets nerfed and suddenly burst becomes used. You have Tracer and Genji all over the place. The slightest changes, the slightest nerfs make other heroes become more viable. Right now, we're seeing heroes like Brawl that are coming in, which gets me excited. But ask me a month later, I'm like, all right, I'm tired of Brawl. You know, I'm ready for some burst to come in so we can get through that sustain that he brings to the game. So I think the game is actually in a pretty healthy state, and I have a lot of good faith in the Blizzard balance team to actually make sure that they're switching that enough so our meta does adjust and change.
I know. Do you know? I'm inclined to agree with that, and I can already see the internet crawling to fight me saying that. But
they want to fight on anything. Don't worry.
Oh, it's just it's just streams of the Blizzard's balance team. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway. Gwells Heroes also asks, what's your favourite Blizzard character you'd next like to see enter the Nexus?
Oh, the one that entered the Nexus. So this is actually always a weird question when I get asked it, because personally I'm not someone that was fully invested into Blizzard IPs before getting
the lore
into it.
and things.
Yeah, I was a StarCraft player that played competitive StarCraft. Like I didn't play the story campaign, but Heroes kind of actually introduced me to other characters. Because now I actually care about Illidan's backstory. His backstory is badass. I love Ragnaros
It's
now.
so savage, Illidan's backstory.
Yeah,
it's tragic.
exactly.
It's tragic.
He's an anti-hero that you actually can get behind. You're like, you know what? I actually believe in some of the motives that Illidan went with. So I'm actually just down with more content coming out that I can go learn about other IPs, because that's what I learn more through Heroes, which is so weird because like most people play Heroes because they want to play their Blizzard character they love so much. And I'm just more of ready and willing to get more information.
I think Anduin might be.
Anduin might be fun, but I hear he's a crybaby. Is that true? Or
well, he's,
like I didn't learn that until I played Heroes, but I started learning about Warcraft a little bit and learning about Illidan.
He's a healer. So.
I think I offended. I'm sorry. Tell me more about Anduin. Don't get me excited.
No. See, I've got to be careful because I don't want to split decision here.
Okay.
But I was a Horde player, man. Horde all the way, every time.
And you still want Anduin, okay?
So,
well,
I'm not necessarily saying I want him, but I was watching the cinematic for Battle for Azeroth, which is totally amazing. And with the sound quality in that auditorium, it was fantastic. So I was really excited.
I want that guy. Team dies anyway, so we can res. That'd be great.
I kind of figured like he was doing Oriel's resurrection, but on a mass scale. So I was like, well, that'd be OP.
Yeah, that sounds great. Get it in.
So, right. Who do you think should get a rework next? Some of the reworks have been really exciting, totally changing characters.
This is always a weird question because I know the community's inkling automatically is to go Raynor. Give us a Raynor rework.
Oh, for sure.
Personally, I think Raynor's in a fine spot, not competitive-wise, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a good spot for a new player coming into the game. Like, you need those heroes that people can get onto and say, okay, here's what you do. You right-click crap and try not to die. And Raynor, exactly, and Raynor gives that, and while he might not be great at the highest levels, maybe we get some adjustments to make him good in that spot while still keeping that identity. But if you were to look at other heroes, Murky's gotten a rework in the past, and I actually don't like his new rework because he's lost his ability to be a lane dominator, which I loved in the old Murky. So I kind of want that back. So let's do a anti-rework maybe and bring back some talents. That would be kind of nice.
Anything that brings more Murky into my life is a bad move. But that's maybe why.
The way you talk there, you're all getting all excited, but no, you don't want to. Me and him can't talk anymore. We're done.
Anubarak, he's quite an exciting guy. Now, I've heard people discuss recently beetle build. Now, do you think beetle build is viable? And what else? No. Right. Well, there's no point.
It's a community question, so let's make sure we get some information here.
Do you think there's a team composition that could complement the beetle build?
So, like in theory, beetle build could be decent against mages if you're able to consistently block skills that are coming your way, because you want the field popping out, get the spell armor going. But I feel like the newest iteration of the beetle build is just not good enough. The new Breck needs to be a tank in the front line, and you can't rely on your beetles to land at the perfect time to stop a skill shot. If you're able to predict where your beetle is coming out and prevent a skill shot, you're god. You should be playing another tank to win with that tank. So the beetle build, not really the way you want to go down. It's cute, it's cool, it's maybe okay in some way, some form, but I feel like the newest iteration isn't as good as the old iteration. The old iteration came by some things.
I know exactly the sort of situation you're talking about. I've seen like Muradin's jumping in on a Lunara, and as he lands, he's obviously away to throw the storm ball, and they flick out a wisp to deflect the storm ball. You know, and that, you know, if you can do things like that, why are you playing a beetle build?
Yeah, play something different, man. If you're in a beetle, be willing to dodge stuff.
So who's your main when you're playing? Who's your main?
Who's my main? Recently Thrall. I was talking about him earlier. It used to be Ragnaros, played him a lot. I like Avatar. But I think right now Thrall, man, Green Jesus, he's getting me the wins.
Right, you said this earlier, and the guy goes, Kaldor said, no, it wasn't Kaldor, was it?
It was Dreadnought. He was like, Shrek?
I heard that. I was like, what's he on about?
He's from North America.
So you're liking Thrall? Okay. Now, your view on Lava Gate. I saw this when you were casting.
Lava Wave?
Yeah, so this was brilliant, right? You were like drawing on the screen and everything. Lava Wave. So you're a fan of Ragnaros Lava Wave. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so like at first it wasn't something that I thought would be a competitive pick in terms of heroics. Like there are some big weaknesses to it, you can dodge out on it. But one of the main things that it does do very well, I think, fits for Hero League, which it automatically gives you soak in lane, so you don't have to go soak a lane and actually stay with your team, because some teams don't want to not team fight even if they're behind. So Lava Wave gives you that fix. It also delays game. If 4 to 3 or 3 to 4 of my teammates get killed, I can Molten Core, can Lava Wave, I can stop a fight for a good 20-30 seconds, which I thought was incredibly powerful in Hero League. So I went through a phase where I was kind of getting owned and I was falling in rank pretty quickly. I found my Lord and Savior Ragnaros, who started getting me the climbs again and let me get some wins here and there. So I just went all in on it. I'm like, you know what? I'm praying to this guy every night. I got a cool setup. Like, I'm all about fire. I turned into a pyromaniac, and I wound up becoming somewhat competitive. We've seen it a few times.
Have you had that where you're thinking about heroes so much that like you're making a cup of tea and you're trying to fire scatter arrows off like the wall and stuff?
I haven't gotten there, but if I do, I will let you know, because I think there's something wrong with me.
Oh my gosh. That's so. I take it you never got Kaldor around to this way of thinking.
We got him say it a couple times, but I think he was trolling me. But I choose to believe that he was being truthful.
Okay. Well, I think that's all I've got for you today. So thank you very much.
No, thank you very
Cheers very much.
Hello, we're here with Kaldor. It's me, Jabroni, and Halloween.
That's me. Yeah.
We asked some Heroes Lounge players to kind of throw out some questions for us. So yeah, we're going to jump in with a couple quick questions. Basically, it's your casting is insane when it comes to play-by-play. The kind of high energy team fights, you're calling everything with high energy, and it gets everybody hyped. Do you have like an off-screen warm-up method before you go out?
No, I don't. I'm not yelling at the mirror or anything. It's actually funny because I talked to someone earlier about Warcraft 3, and that's where a lot of that comes from, because when we started, the bandwidth on the internet wasn't there for video streams, so we could only do audio streams, and back then you had to provide a picture for the audience, so you had to describe everything that was happening. And so a lot of the old school casters from back then are pretty good at the play-by-play, because they're just used to trying to convey everything to the audience. And if you then transition from RTS over to a mobile game where you have to watch 10 heroes, that gives you a bit of an edge, I would say. So I think it comes a bit natural, but the warm-up is usually just the start of the game. So no, I'm not yelling at the TV or anybody. I'm not getting my neighbors worried.
Amazing. So Pad Palon asked, what would be the next big feature Heroes needs to evolve as an esport?
Well, straight up two. First of all, I'm still harping on the performance-based matchmaking system. I know that a lot of people were a little bit skeptical about it, but unfortunately coincided with that matchmaking bug that they had with the placements. So I think that's a big deal of it, because this is very different when you compare it to, let's say, Dota and League of Legends, where as an individual player you have more carry potential, because Heroes is way more focused on the team fight aspect. So in that sense, I feel individual performance needs to be rewarded, and that would also take a lot of the anxiety away from people. There's a few things I would like to change with the first initiative that they had, but overall I think it's a very important feature. Hero swaps is something that we desperately need, just so that you have more draft flexibility and so that teams can work in that sense. I think voice chat already added a lot, but those two would be my priority, and then afterwards I would go for changing the Grandmaster ladder, because right now you still get, at the end of each season, you get the reward for your highest position that you held during the season, and I think that's a pretty bad way to go about it, because once a player reaches number 1, especially if you grind at the start, there's very little incentive to actually commit to Hero League even more. And if you make it so that you only get the rank that you have at the end of the season, you give out a few better prizes for the good Grandmaster players, and you just in general give more incentives for good players to continuously throughout the season commit to Hero League, you will get better matches also at the top end. Because traditionally that is where the matchmaking struggles the most, just simply because if you imagine a pyramid, it's where you have the fewest players that are on that level. So those were probably the top 3 that would change.
Nice one.
Yeah. Just to expand on that, we've seen huge improvements because of the voice chat. Like statistically, the toxicity levels have been reduced a little, and are you seeing at that level a difference as well?
I've been saying this for years, that I think a lot of the toxicity comes because people are frustrated. If you're sitting in a game, and my prime example has been for more than a year now, if you're on Infernal Shrines and your opponent takes the Punisher and you say, okay, bait it over, and you have that one monkey that walks in front of the wall and just like ruins the entire play. You sit there and you don't have time to always just write an entire essay to explain to the person, listen, you just need to stay behind the gate, you provide vision, you bait it over, and then you have the extra tower shots and everything that helps you to defend against that. So people just get super frustrated, and if that happens over and over again, it results in them getting toxic. And I mean, that's not nice.
And then tilting, and then sitting AFK in the core.
You start tilting after a while, and I mean, of course, that's not the behavior you're looking for, but it's a big part of what triggers it. Now that we have voice chat, you have still idiots that go in and insult people. I mean, you're never going to get rid of those. But you have now an easier tool to communicate with people, talk to them, and actually tell them, listen, this is what we need to do, and this is why. And once you explain to them why, and you can do that quickly, they understand, because you're not simply annoying them by trying to tell them what to do, you're also providing an explanation why it makes sense. So communication just makes for much more relaxed games. And ever since they introduced voice chat, I mean, I had a couple where we had people in voice chat that also got tilted and they got toxic, but the majority of the games that I had were, even in losses, still where people said, okay, didn't happen, but you coordinate way better, you tell people when you're doing, just like the community or players teaching players how to play better, how to get better.
I mean, sure, you're putting a person behind the keyboard. That's what Trixler was saying to us yesterday. He was saying, you're making it more personal. It's not, and it's I think it's definitely improved win rates. It's been a huge improvement. I'm all for it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject too much there. I just thought we needed to expand on voice chat a little because it's great.
Decent. Right. So yeah, the next one is about the development now. They came out and said that they're thinking they're pushing back hero release dates in favour of reworks, and I think reworks of the maps. Do you think that that's a right step rather than just churning out heroes on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Yeah, I was not a fan of the rhythm that they had so far. I think it's awesome if you provide new content, and you should always do it. But personally, I'm absolutely happy if they slow down the patch progression as well as hero releases, just simply because it got too much at some point, and especially from a caster's perspective, with the frequent patches that we have, there's such a difference sometimes between the tournament patch, the PTR patch, and then you have the live patch, where you're really starting to lose track of what am I playing right now. I mean, sometimes I'm not even touching the game for a week because I'm juggling 3 patches already, and if I then go into HGC and all of a sudden talk about a healer not choosing cleanse, and I immediately get Twitch chat going crazy, doesn't have cleanse anymore, I'm like, oh, we're on that patch, like, yeah. So I personally think for the game it's also good. It provides a bit more stability, and there is of course a fine line, don't get me wrong. I mean, you need to find a good rhythm between providing new content on a regular basis, but at the same time not just flooding it out. So if they find that, then I'm all for it, and slowing it down a bit is, in my opinion, a step into the right direction.
Yeah, sounds good. So we are here at the Clash. What team's exit from the Clash or progress has surprised you the most?
I mean, let's just face it, Method just played abysmal. Like, I have no idea what happened there. I was expecting them, as they themselves said, to be in the top 3 or to at least contest it, and they just lost to 2 North American teams. Were also the first one to lose to NA in 2 years, which all the EU teams were trying to avoid. And they were not happy with their performance either. So that surprised me heavily. I didn't expect them to struggle this much. But they came in and already said that in scrims they didn't get quite the results that they got throughout the season, and that adjusting to the priorities that changed with MyF being introduced, they were not sure how exactly to draft. And unfortunately for them, they didn't have the showing here, because as a team, you want to go to the offline event and you want to grow as a unit. You want to get some synergy with your teammates. You want to grow as a group. And now they have the exact opposite happening. They're coming here, they're getting slammed into the ground. And now you just have to ask yourself, can they recover for the next part of the season? And that's going to be rough. And on the upside, we have North America now finally showing some skill, so that's also pretty awesome because we get that rivalry going, and which is for us casters brilliant because we can banter on the desk without people getting salty. If I sit there with Gillian, we make an A and EU jokes, and at the same time an A just get crushed on every single map, and there's a lot of people out there that just don't like that for very good reason. Now it's all of a sudden just really people going blow to blow, and that allows you for a lot more banter, and it makes more fun on the analysis desk. You have more exciting games. Tempo Storm is having a great run right now, and I really, really like that. So North America now stepping it up is pretty awesome, especially since throughout 2017 I already expected them to become better, and they were very confident, and then they come into the event and they again lose without taking a single series, and that was really disappointing. So it's awesome to see that in 18 they're stepping up this heavily.
So we know you're quite close with Fnatic. How do you feel that they're performing with Sonic, the sub?
It's interesting timing for the question because I thought they did really well. I feel against Tempo Storm they had a few problems. They banned out Maiev really late. One of the reasons was, as they said later, that they were trying to see, they were not impressed by the Maiev plays they've seen by the North American teams up to that point, and they let Maiev through deliberately because they said, hey, if that's the level that we can expect there on the hero, we can deal with it. But Tempo Storm was stronger with her than they expected, so they struggled against it and then lost. But even with that loss, I thought, okay, with Sonic, give them a little bit more practice, give them just another day. Sonic can rest and can get used to everything. Benny gets a bit more routine in the shot calling, and I expected them to come out swinging today against Zealots, have maybe a close series. But right now, as we do this, they are 0-2. That draft on BOE was not really targeting the map, so I feel that was a big part of the problem. I think with Sonic, they're doing extremely well given the circumstances. But I really thought we would see them in a rematch against Tempo Storm, and now they still have the chance, but they need to reverse sweep. So I think there's a chance, but still, overall, you can't be too upset with them because
I was speaking about this earlier. I said it would be amazing if they made it to the finals because Quacknix will feel like he hasn't let them down. But then I said they're faced with a very difficult moral situation where if they win, he might feel really, really bad.
I mean, that might be part of the case, but at the same time, I feel with Quack they would have a lot more of the synergy that we're sometimes missing. Sonic has fit in really well, and especially around the previous games that they played on the first day, he'd done an insane job, but you can still see that sometimes he's not on the same page. And he also doesn't have that comparative understanding yet. Apparently he doesn't even watch a lot of HGC, so he doesn't watch comparative, and in a lot of the situations he has that Hero League mentality where he apparently after a big team fight went on and told Smexy, alright, I'm heading mid, I'm gonna go to the well, and Smexy just starts laughing and tells him, no dude, we're finishing now, like we're ending, so just come with us. So he still has a lot to learn there, but you can see that that guy has of course insane potential. So even if here they don't go as far as they maybe hoped with him, I feel like in the future, if a team picks Sonic up, they're going to have really someone that they can build on.
LAN experience as well.
Yeah.
So do you know how that came about? How, was Sonic always kind of thought of as a sub, or was it kind of just, oh god, Quack's sick, we need to...
No, so Quack got sick in London, and for 2.5 days when he was also like, I think he was in the emergency room at some point even, and they played during those 2 days where he couldn't play at all. They played with Marke to my knowledge and with Sonic, so those are the two subs that they use. They can't play with Marke here because he's part of an HGC team, so once that it became clear that despite all hopes Quack can't play, they just reached out to Sonic and flew him in on Friday actually. So he arrived in, I think at the airport, his flight landed at 11:30. He arrived at the venue at 1 o'clock. They had to do media with him, and the game started I think at 4. So they got one single game in with him, and then they immediately had to play.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. So yeah, my final question would be, who do you think's going to be in the final? Who's going to win? Sorry.
I mean, Europe is obviously going to win it. I mean, we need that extra spot. I like that NA is doing better, but the spot is still ours, sorry. So Dignitas has the best chances, I feel. I wouldn't mind Tempo Storm going up against Dignitas again, but right now, any of the 3 teams that we have remaining would be a fantastic story. With the Zealots, you have the 2 Polish players that are playing, so that would be fantastic for the crowd. If we get a rematch between Tempo Storm and Dignitas, NA versus EU, I'm not going to complain about that. And if Fnatic makes it all the way with a sub, now also that would mean they need to reverse sweep Zealots, but I mean, could happen. That would be a fantastic story as well, that we have the rivalry going again. So either match is fine. With Fnatic being down 2 games, I think it's likely that Tempo Storm has a very good shot of making it all the way again.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to pass you over to Halloween for some quick fire questions.
Okay, we've got the quick fire round. So, before I go into this, are you still a Vala main? You said last year Vala all the way. Is that still the case for you?
I mean, you can't be a Vala main in Hero League right now because you just get wrecked all the time. But if she was viable, I would still main her, yes. So Vala is still my bae. But right now, if you draft, you have to be adjusting to the meta, and nah.
All right, okay. Okay, so quick fire round. All right, favorite hero?
Vala.
Least favorite hero?
I would... rough battle between Genji and Tracer.
Okay, Mexican or Chinese cuisine?
Chinese.
Favorite ban?
Ban?
Yes.
Maiev.
Okay, now because Dreadnought misheard me when I asked that earlier, favorite band?
Really rough run. I'm not that much into music right now on this event. Guano Apes.
Favorite caster?
Huh. Which game?
This one.
Favorite caster for Heroes?
Yeah.
To cast with or to listen?
Just your favorite caster?
You have to specify casting with or listen to.
Both.
I kind of walked into that one, didn't I? Yeah. So favorite caster to cast with, this year definitely Tim Trixler, because it has been a lot of fun. And listen to, I'm actually a little bit torn on that one, to be absolutely honest. I would say, depending on the game, but most of the time it would be either Dreadnought or if it's a hype game, if it's a really, really hype game that is fast, and J-How.
Okay, so favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Cats or dogs?
Kind of both, but dogs.
Favorite map?
Cursolo.
And there we go. Thank you very much for your time today, Calder.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thank you.